Good afternoon. It is 3:01. I'm Joseph Bonanno live from the 104.5 The Zone studios. The Titans were back on the practice field today as they get ready to host the New England Patriots at Nissan Stadium on Sunday. At practice today, no sign of Tavondre Sweat, Jeffrey Simmons, L'Jarius Sneed, Calvin Ridley, Keandre Coburn, Tony Pollard, Amani Hooker, Dylan Radins, Andrew Rupchich during the open portion of practice today. Will Levis was back in throwing today, and Brian Callahan met with the media and gave an update on Levis as he continues to work back from that shoulder injury.
The more important part for Will right now is going to be not just today, but Thursday, Friday's worth of days consecutively throwing to see how that goes. He feels good after the rest and some time off of throwing, so we'll see what it looks like as the week goes along.
In NFL news today, the Panthers announced that Bryce Young would make his second straight start as Andy Dalton is still recovering from that thumb injury. And Game 5 of the World Series is tonight as the Yankees try to avoid elimination once again, while the Dodgers looked for their second ring in the last 5 games. Watch out for Freddie Freeman. He's on a 6-game homer streak in the World Series after homering again last night. First pitch is at 7 p.m. For our foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Balls. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Welcome in 3HL 104.5 The Zone, coming at you live. Babsy, Dawn Davenport here in the building to start things off on this hump day. We'll wait for Slay to get here for him to hump day it. But I figured that I might as well bring in someone way smarter than me when it comes to Titan stuff.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
How about Hitman? Blaine Bishop is going to sit in for a segment in the building. What up, Blaine?
What's happening?
Oh, we
I
do
appreciate
have
that.
an
There
intro
go,
for
banana.
you.
Yeah.
Breaking news.
Bananas, yeah. I call him Zeph.
Zeph, yeah. Like Joseph,
Yeah.
Zeph.
Oh.
That's a Slay special.
Oh, is it?
It's
You know
kind
how
of
that is.
weird hearing my full name on the radio. From
Joseph?
y'all. Yeah.
I don't think I've ever called you Joseph in your life.
Yeah, no.
It's either bananas
that's your
or
real
Zeph.
name?
Yeah, right? Blaine, he worked with you for a year. You
Yeah,
didn't know.
it was bananas. I just call him bananas. I thought it was really unique. You know, Bonanno was really close to bananas. So I
Yeah,
thought it
it's
was
very gangster-like,
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah.
So I figure I asked you to stick around for a segment to talk Titans, and there's a specific reason, because we're talking about Will Levis. So Wednesday's always the day, right? For like a quarterback, if you're going to have a chance to play, you're throwing on Wednesday, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what they're saying. He's throwing so far. I mean, we got to, figure out what all he does today and then how his body responds tomorrow and see if he does do it again.
So we have a Brian Callahan, Will Levis update today. So let's go ahead and play that, and then we'll dive into this.
Will come out to practice today. We're going to try to get a feel for where he's at after some rest, see how he feels throwing the ball, see how it looks. The more important part for Will right now is going to be not just today, but, Thursday, Friday's worth of days consecutively throwing to see how that goes. He feels good after the rest and some time off of throwing, so we'll see what it looks like as the week goes along.
Similar to what it was heading into Buffalo, where you really test him on those.
Yeah, it'll be a, we'll make sure that if he's feeling good and feeling up to it, then we'll ramp it up and see where he's at. We'll test all the throws, make sure he can make them all, make sure he feels confident in it, and then if he does, then we'll move forward. But we'll see how the week goes along.
Well, there you go. That's the Cali update. And I talk about the expert. You've actually had this exact injury before, haven't you? The AC, what is it?
Yeah, the AC joint. I've had it, but I wasn't a quarterback. So.
It doesn't matter, though. You know the feel,
so
right?
When he first had the injury, I said, oh, wow, this is going to be kind of interesting because I wore one of those black things, they put over your bicep and everything else, and I'm not throwing.
Which tries to, stabilize it, right?
Right, to keep it in place so it can continually heal. Being a guy that's, trying to hit somebody, that was always going to be a difficult deal. But he is actually not trying to hit people. So all I was worried about if he had the mobility to move and throw the shoulder, like if you're throwing across your body, you make it hit the AC joint, because what happens is it gets out of spot. And so then when you're throwing across your body or, different directions, sometimes it can limit your mobility. So I didn't know if he could just play immediately, or if it would bother him, or if he just, they kept saying pain tolerance. It is tough, but at the same time, it's more about mobility for a quarterback. The pain is after you're drilling and rushing, you get out there in the game, you just play. So it was kind of interesting. He couldn't make certain throws, and that's always a tough line, though, Don. And you were an athlete in college, like, to play, are you injured or hurt? And even my last year in the league, I played probably, and I shouldn't have played when I tore my groin. I thought I could just fight through it and
that's
play.
a hard one, too. Like, that's...
Well, I didn't know it was as bad as it was, but I thought it may be after running like I was running in quicksand. But so, you think you can just manage through it. So it's just kind of barbaric side of being tough, and I can do it for my teammate. And then there's a fine line. And when you're the quarterback and you have the ball in your hand the majority of the time on offense, whether you're handing off or throwing the football, I think it's a tough decision. I think that's what he kind of went through, especially being a young player. He wanted to do it for his teammates and everything else. And so
he couldn't throw deep.
Yeah, he couldn't throw deep. That was obvious, right?
It was so obvious.
Yeah. So I was
especially when his strength is that arm. And we talk about that all the time.
He can just flick of the wrist. He can do some really special things. So that there probably was the nail in the coffin that he couldn't make certain throws. And, we're all finding that out after the game. So it's good. He's got some rest. Hopefully he's fresh, invigorated, sitting on the sidelines. Hopefully he could have learned a lot. I know I learned a lot sitting on the sidelines. Being a quarterback, I'm sure he learned a lot. But eventually you got to get in game and then act on what you thought you learned or saw there that you felt like, oh, I would do it this way and I should be doing it this way. It's really educational. So eventually, though, the rubber meets the road. You got to go out there and ball. You got to play in action.
So that kind of injury, just, you talk about injury versus hurt. I go back
tough.
to my college days where I dislocated my toe.
Ooh.
I ran into a Coke machine, dislocated my toe.
Oh, this wasn't in game. You did this outside.
This is like embarrassing and pathetic. But had to go straight to the training room. They, popped it back in. But I was a defensive specialist. Like, it was so sore to where I couldn't move. So as embarrassing as it was, I'm like, I am going to hinder my team if I play through that, right? So that's where I think Will Levis probably learned from the last game. But along those lines of that injury, as far as coming back and knowing when you can or can't go, and then not just the Wednesday practice, but it's all about the aftermath of it, right? You can get through a practice with an actual injury or being hurt, but it's always, how does your body react, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. It's about how your body responds. Because you're not going full blast in practice. Ron just came in, and I know he can be a part of this conversation too as well.
Slay.
What up,
SEC
dog?
player of the year.
Hitman's taking your seat.
Hitman got seniority on me, man.
Nah, this is your spot, man.
Plus he got an orange, so you look good right now.
Oh, okay, yeah. So, yeah. I mean, a couple of days we'll see. You've had some injuries before. Playing injured or hurt, Ron, I mean, kind of take us through that, man, being, especially, a basketball player where everybody can see everyone out here. You can't hide if you're injured. You know what I mean? You're exposed.
I think, man, a lot of times it differs because depending on what the injury is, like sprains and torn, two different things. A lot of times, man, you're in the grind so much, like every single day, a lot of times 2 a days, even if you're not doing anything physically. But as we're getting treatment, the 2 days or 3 days of rest, man, that's like an eternity for sports, for an athlete. You know what I'm saying? So you could be hurt on Tuesday and be guessing in your mind like, Wednesday, I still feel the same. But by the time Friday arrived, you done took you some inflammation medicine or whatever it may be. You done got your therapy.
Maybe a shot
and you
or
feel
two.
like, oh man, I feel totally different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just because your body's not used to resting and recovering that long. Then a lot of times too, you got to protect yourself from you need people to protect you from yourself. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Especially with that mentality
was probably
he got.
A Blaine issue too when you were playing.
Listen,
I mean, didn't you play with like a cast on for an entire season?
Well,
that's a different
three
era,
seasons
too.
in a row, man. Broken forearm, breaking fingers, still messed up, man. 3 pins there. But I mean, the real man, it is really hard. I wanted to ask you guys, when you actually make those decisions, when you're actually playing and you feel like you regretted that decision after the fact, like you played actually injured. I felt like that's what happened with Will Levis.
Yeah.
Really, he felt like, dang, if I could have made that throw or a couple other throws throughout this game, we might have had a shot of winning this game, man. And those are kind of regrets I had, even in that game that I played that I shouldn't have played. I felt like, man, I felt like I shouldn't have played.
I think a lot of times, too, you got to really try. It's hard to mimic game type atmosphere. But if you can get in practice and, like, I don't care if it's a 2-minute scrimmage for basketball, and I can go hard for 2 or 3 minutes, I can test it to see, dog, I ain't going to be able to shoot outside 15 feet with my shoulder like this. So you try to, you try to gauge how you can do it, how you can help the team. If not, you got to be a good teammate and say, man, I can't go, y'all. Mm-hmm. I can't go. Because I can't set us back for 2 or 3 weeks when I can sit out a week and be better.
I feel like I need to see him this weekend. I need to see Will Levis back.
But what if he makes those throws again like that, though? Like
if he's not ready?
Yeah.
Do you think that they'll know this time around if he's not ready?
Well, they should, and they're going to.
They got burned already.
Right, they're going to ask him this time, like, hey, you think you can make every throw? So they can cover all their bases.
That needs to be honest.
But I'm really interested, and this is a side that really I felt like I could fight through. Where is he at mentally if he feels like he actually can do everything, or does he feel like he can do some things and that can get him by?
See,
that's the hard part.
This is a different conversation,
right?
But I think Will Levis is mentally fragile.
Yeah.
That's a heavy comment by me. I understand that, but
You said that you stood beside it the whole time.
I'm stood beside it. I said it even before the season started.
That's what I'm talking about.
You got to have
from the draft.
You got to have an element about you at quarterback. There's going to be things said about you, about your play that you got to wipe it off. You can't let it phase you. You got to just move on.
It's tough.
I don't know if he's that guy.
It's tough.
It's real tough in a 1-6
He cares
season.
too much.
Yeah. And about his individual performance.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, I used to care too much too, and now
I think we all did.
I don't give a damn about my reputation.
Well, you got to care to a certain extent as an athlete, but then you got to let it
that
go.
position though, too.
Yes,
that right there is different. Hitman coming downhill. I'm giving my all.
Yeah.
It ain't got to be nothing. It ain't got to be nothing timid or nothing like it's you going full speed or not.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for giving your
Appreciate you guys having me on, man. Appreciate you,
on
man.
the AC injury.
The mayor has arrived.
Yes,
Look,
we
coming to a
appreciate
man to
you.
man right here.
Yeah, what up? I like it.
Appreciate
Thanks,
it.
Bishop. Yeah. All right, Hitman. All right, we'll take a quick break. We will continue this conversation. If you want to jump in, 615-737-1045. You want to talk about Will Levis, we'll hear more from Brian Callahan. Interesting conversation from Coach about setting up young quarterbacks for success in the NFL, and it kind of plays into what's going on. Oh, we've got Coach Mack next. Thank you. Thanks, Steph. See, this is why this is not my job. We'll talk to Coach Mack about it, too, with what's going on in Indianapolis and them benching Anthony Richardson. We'll talk about the young quarterback conversation coming up next on 3HL. Coach Mack will join us, and Mayor and Slay are in the building. Stick around.
What's happening, good people? Listen to me. It's Shoney's, and it's time to eat. We ate a lot yesterday, probably too much. I got to put a limit on that, but you don't. I'm telling you right now, you can get into Shoney's and take all advantages of the fresh food bar that's going to be right there for you, and the themed meals that's always hitting. And you have to be aware that UT Ticket Tuesdays are for Shoney's. Yes, whether we are there on Monday, Wednesday, don't matter. When you hear us there live, we'll be there directly to give you some tickets. You just got to call in, come sign up, do what you got to do. We've been to Clarksville. We've been to Lebanon. We've been to the one right there on Donaldson Pike in Nashville. Dixon, you up next. So everybody get to your Shoney's Middle Tennessee locations. Listen to 3HL so you can find out where you need to be at. And do you know what that hot fudge cake means. Yeah, it's serious. I'm telling you right now. And also, Babsy loves a skillet cookie. Yeah, yeah, your picks from both of them. So, hey, we just try to figure it all out. You make sure you get there. It's been happening for over 75 years. It's trending. It's Shoney's. Let's eat.
All right, I want to tell you about Outdoor Lighting Perspectives of Nashville. You know the holidays are coming up, right? And you know you don't want to be the one house in the neighborhood that doesn't have holiday lighting up. You need to call Bob Lyons and his team at Outdoor Lighting Perspectives of Nashville, because not only do they do amazing landscape lighting for your home, they also do holiday lighting. And if you have ever been to Cheekwood Estates and Gardens for the past 8 years and seen how beautiful and amazing those lighting displays are, well, guess what? It is Outdoor Lighting Perspectives of Nashville that have installed and maintained those holiday lights at Cheekwood for the past 8 years. They can do your holiday lighting, which means design, installation, takedown, and then storage for future years. No ladders, no boxes, no mess. Go to NashvilleChristmasLights.com to go ahead and schedule your appointment, because they fill up fast, I promise. Or give them a call at 615-376-LIGHT. That's LITE 376-LIGHT. That's Outdoor Lighting Perspectives of Nashville, the best landscape lighting company here in our area.
3HL 104.5 The Zone. Brent Doherty, Don Davenport, Ron Slay with you. Coach Mack joined us now thanks to our friends at Two Rivers Ford. Coach, what's up? How are you?
Hey, guys. I'm doing good. I'm just sitting here after practice working on New England. Looking forward to talking to you guys.
What's going on at quarterback there? It looks like Drake May with a head thing, but then Jacoby Brissett comes in and leads them on a game-winning touchdown drive with less than 3 minutes to go. What do you anticipate quarterback-wise there?
Yeah, well, I don't know, but I know this. That May played about another series and a half after he got his head hit, and then he came out. And, of course, Brissett, he's not an empty chair. He's been in there playing. The structure, I know this, after having watched 5 games, their structure is not going to change offensively. What they do, both of those guys can operate outside of the cylinder and in the cylinder. But in the run game with Ramondre Stevenson, that's going to stay, exactly solid. And regardless of the quarterback guys, Hunter Henry, the tight end, is their go-to guy. Now they've got other receivers, and Brissett threw to Booty in that last drive twice to make 2 huge plays. But their structure is not going to change offensively, regardless of who the quarterback is.
Coach Mack with us on 3HL. All right, let's Slay, you got something?
Yeah, I just wanted to know, Coach Mack, you said you were sitting there after practice handling what? I missed what you had said.
New England.
Oh, okay. All right.
As soon as I leave the practice field,
you get in there and lock in.
Start working on New England. I spend all the Mondays watching at least 4 or 5 of their previous games to get an idea and start putting my thoughts together, and then up here trying to finalize them.
Did you think he was talking about food or something?
No, it was I heard a lot right there. I heard booty, and then I was like, I know what Coach, me and Coach Mack in West Texas, man. I ain't no telling what Coach Mack got going. Hey, Coach Mack, this is what I want to know, though. After reviewing a little bit of that, strong point for the Titans. I thought after the first drive in this last game, it was short field, which you had to work with. But this defensive front, can they get after and disturb New England, like if hold?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely they can. I mean, they can and they should. I mean, that's that goes without saying. That's going to have to help. That game. Look, I don't need to keep reiterating how many games I've been in. That was one of the most unusual field position metric games I've ever seen. I mean, it really was. Now, here's my thought, and I think this is probably their mindset on defense too. Regardless of where they get the ball, you've still got to be able to rise up and at least make them, especially down there, make them kick at field goals. I mean, regardless of where they get the ball, it's not acceptable to let them have 5 touchdowns from that spot. It's just not. I mean, you can't do that. So a lot of times, having coached defense for a big part of my life, you can't always control where you get the ball, but you can control what you do afterwards. And so they've got to get better than that, even though they were put in some really unusual situations. That sudden change mentality, as we've talked about before, that can never change, no matter where you're put on the field defensively.
Right. So, Will Levis, I don't know how much you can speak to it, but did you see him be able to warm up a little bit, get his arm a little loose?
Yeah, he was doing some things today. I mean, you heard what the head coach said. They're going to kind of work him into it and see what he can do. So, I mean, this is Wednesday. So they'll make a decision just like they have before. They'll make a quicker decision. They made a very quick decision, last week on it. So I think they've got a little bit more time today. But he did throw some today.
Yeah, but
I didn't go ask him how he felt, Ron.
I know. Before I pass the mic, Coach Mack, we were Babsy and Hitman were having a discussion, and with athletes, man, it is between Tuesday or even Monday and Friday. Forget getting all the way to Sunday. Your body feels totally different with athletes, and you've seen it throughout getting treatment, but just having that rest. Rest for an athlete, man, that used to doing 2 days or 2 days and things of that nature, those 4 days could mean 3 weeks, if you will, and you just never know. You think that a little bit of that is what's going on with Will Levis as well? Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, they said. I mean, again.
Well, I'm speaking from my opinion. I know 4 days, man. Woo, that's a lifetime. You might as well gave me off a month. You know what I'm saying? Depending on what the injury is.
Well, they said it was a grade 2 sprain, and so I mean, I dropped out of medical school after a semester. It's too easy. So, but whatever that means, but everybody's body everybody's body reacts different. So I don't know. But at this time of year, of course, with a quarterback with a throwing shoulder injury, then that's something else. But let's just put an overall, view on all players in the National Football League at this time of year. Everybody's got something wrong or hurting on them this time of year, and then it just depends on how quick your body reacts to that injury, whatever it is.
Listen, I mean, some quarterbacks just get tired, and pull themselves out of the game, and then tell everybody later.
That was unusual, but at least he was honest. I'm tired. So
You've seen a lot of football, Coach Mack. You said over 600 games. You ever seen that one?
Well, I mean, it's like Hadley getting tired of soccer. I'm tired. This is too hard.
Right.
Exactly. It's just like my 4-year-old.
What it's like.
Right. But if Hadley does that, doesn't her soccer coach put her to the side and say, "Hey, you're not going to go anymore. We're going to go with the next guy"?
No, her mom says that.
No, her mother. I think you guys know her mother. Her mother pulls her aside and say, "Hey, what the what?"
I didn't
Get your
even think of that.
Shiano together, Hads.
Coach Mack with us, courtesy of Two Rivers Ford. Have you ever seen 303 return yards in an NFL game? That was something.
That's absolutely not. Absolutely not. I mean, I as I said, and that was one of my keys going into the game is they were going to have to win the field metric, which I mean you can chart pretty easily, and they did exactly the opposite. But as far as seeing that many, no, I have not ever. And I mean, it was kickoff. It was and it was especially punt. I have not. There's elements that go into punting the football. The first thing is clearly the operation of getting the snap back, and then protection. That's number one. But then, I mean, you've got to cover, but you've got to cover in unison, and you've got to cover in space, and you've got to. And the kick has a lot to do with it. The head coach talked about, more hang time or directional punting. None of that stuff happened. And I mean, there were too many just really huge lanes to run through. I mean, I've never, ever seen anything like that. I really haven't.
Coach Mack with us on 3HL. How fixable is that? Quickly?
Well, I mean, first of all, you've got to get it's about protection first, which they did, but then it's about getting off blocks, then it's getting your spacing, and then it's making plays in space. I mean, I guess you're limited, and you are right at this point in time as to how many. You've got to marry protection with coverage and with the kicks and with the hang time and all of that. So you can work on all of that, but still, when you're out there in space, that's 53 1/3 yards. If you're kicking it, in the middle of the field, and you figure with 10 people covering, that's about 5 yards, on either side that you've got to be able to work and maneuver in space, and then go make a tackle. I mean, that just that should be very, very fixable.
Coach Mack, when you watch New England's film, are they as bad as their record shows?
Well, I mean, that is you do enough games to know what your record is. It's kind of how you've earned your record. Mm-hmm. Now, to me, it looks like a New England team in this. They're playing the same type of defense. They're playing a physical brand of football with Ramondre Stevenson running the football. They're playing an even man front, and they play very physical football. They are just not. The same thing's happening to them that's happening to the Titans. They're not making plays at crucial moments in games. They really aren't. And then they play well for a while, and then all of a sudden, if something turns against them, then it seems like it avalanches on them. And I mean, I've dealt with New England a lot of times in my coaching career and now in my broadcasting career. They're doing the same things, basically structurally and fundamentally, that you look at. They're just not standing up to moments in games right now that you're used to seeing from New England in the past.
Mm-hmm. So I had Hitman on in the first segment. We were talking Will Levis and injury and knowing when, you need to not play if you're not 100% to where you could harm the team. But we were also talking about the mental part of coming off of an injury and knowing, okay, I'm healthy enough, but am I mentally healthy enough to know that I can make those throws? You've seen a lot of guys through injuries, through, being hurt, through playing through things. What's kind of the key to Will Levis if he is physically healthy enough to do it, to get through the mental part?
Yeah, I mean, that's a legitimate question, and I can just answer from my experience. But see, from my experience, Dawn, when I was coaching, I knew the player. I knew the player. I knew what made him tick. I knew the player. And so each instance that I was in that, not only with quarterbacks but other positions, I knew the player. Yeah, and so that to me, I mean, that's a completely individual thing. I don't think one size fits all into that question nor into that remedy. So it has to be personalized to the player. And as I said, I would give you a definitive answer. I can definitely tell you, how it was when I worked with Jake Plummer if he was even dinged up a little bit. I can tell you how it was when I worked with Josh McCown, and because I knew those people. I don't know these players like that on a daily basis. So to me, that's an individual thing, and some come back quicker than others, and that's as honest as I can be about it.
Mm. Do you think this is a loaded, heavy question?
Uh-oh.
It's all right, Dawn. You know that I don't mind that. Look, I'm out in public a lot. I've been asked so many questions. I think now my name is Hey Coach Mack when I'm out there walking. So and you know what? I embrace it. We had more calls last night than we've ever had on Mack Talk, and I absolutely love it. So let's go, Dawn.
Well, good. That means people still care. So that's a positive.
Absolutely, it does.
Hey, Coach Mack, is Will Levis mentally fragile?
No, I don't know that. I can't.
Oh, come on.
I can't say that.
Come on.
Was
that a loaded question, Coach Mack?
No, it wasn't loaded. I mean,
it's a fair question, right?
Well,
with a young quarterback.
Question, but you'd have to ask him, or you'd have to ask the head coach or the offensive coordinator that work with him daily. I mean, I can't tell you that. I can tell you he's had some very, very mind-bending moments. Yeah. In this, in this. So how it affects him on an internal basis, I don't know that. But that's a fair question. But you need to ask somebody that's a little bit more dialed in, that's with him every day.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Titans favored by 3.5 in this matchup, so we can just take this one for granted, right? And just roll the football out there.
And Brent, as you always say, you preface all of those things to where you and Ron Slay make so much money wagering on these games. You know that matters none to me, but go ahead.
That was it. I just wanted to inform you.
Thank you.
Yeah, you can just roll the ball out there this weekend. No worries.
I love being informed. What you got, Dawn?
Here's another loaded question.
Oh,
hey, Coach. Hey, Coach Mack, would you fire your special teams coordinator if this was what was going on under your watch?
No, absolutely not right now. No,
okay.
Absolutely not. No, that really, especially in the middle of the season, very rarely solves anything. You guys have seen that before.
Yeah.
Not only here, but everywhere else. I mean, Dawn, I watched. I was clicking through when I was watching games, just running through the television when we were there last week, and I clicked through at halftime so I could watch Dawn's. I wanted to hear she was asking loaded questions to the coach at halftime, and she wasn't.
You did. I got a text from Coach Mack right after my second half hit after I talked to Justin Wilcox. He's like, that was good info. Good job. Yeah, Coach, they were up 31-0, and Justin Wilcox is still complaining that his team was kicking field goals and not scoring touchdowns. Typical coach talk right there, right?
Well, at least you asked. I was clicking through all the games up there in Detroit, and I said, I know this is at halftime. I got to see what Dawn has to say, and I liked it.
I love it, Coach Mack.
Thanks for watching,
presented
Coach.
by Two Rivers Ford. Do you feel like the offensive line has gotten better? I've said this stat a couple of times this week, but first 3 games, 15 sacks allowed. Last 4 games, 5. Do you feel like they've been getting better?
Well, absolutely they have. I mean, they absolutely have, and you can see that progress. And we talked about it, guys, from training camp on. This is going to be an incremental process with the offensive line. It always is. It always will be. They absolutely are. They still don't have the right tackle situation settled. They don't.
Yeah.
But from left tackle to the guard, I think absolutely they have.
And I also think, to add to that, Coach Mack, like we point the fingers and blame guys all the time. In this situation right here, I know you're in the spot that you're in now, and you can speak on this. This officiating, boy. When the plays are broken for big plays, the Pollard run, the Jackson screen, the end around, like Come on, these holding calls, Coach Mack. I ain't saying this is going to change the outcome of the game, but it damn sure can change the momentum, though.
Well, first of all, I like the fact that you said "damn sure." And that's a nice emphasis you made on. You know my stance on it, and as I say, I've been at this over half my adult life in this league, and this is the most inconsistent officiating I've ever been involved with, and I will say that. And you know, there some of it I know when I'm on air that the fans like it when I start, you know, but there's a breaking point where it becomes redundant to say it. But I can say this with all impunity, guys. The officiating consistency is not good in this league.
Yes.
It's not good in college either.
Tennessee, Alabama had like 33 penalties.
Yeah. I mean, trust me, I've seen it. Got Pat Narduzzi fined for it.
Yes, you did.
Well, and you know what, Don? When we talked last week, I think we said, I think it's a systemic problem from the bottom up.
Yeah.
I mean, I really do.
You're right.
Well, I mean,
it's hard to find officiating.
It is, and we've talked about this. That's why high schools play on Thursdays and Fridays now because they don't have enough officials.
Yep.
Yeah, and guys get fast tracked, and people, not guys, people get fast tracked into this league, and I mean, things are happening so fast, and things are going. I mean, anyway, I mean, even in the Southeastern Conference,
Yeah.
what did we see in the Southeast Conference last week? A penalty, but you know what? We're going to take this one back. We didn't mean it.
Yeah,
Well,
Oh my gosh, the Georgia Texas game.
At least they have the film and the eye in the sky to go back and fix some things now.
Yeah,
At least they
and
have that.
I think, Don, they need to start using that more. I mean, because it's moving too fast for these people, for their experience and for their expertise. I mean, Anyway, I'm off of the officials now. Thanks, Ron.
Hey,
you had to do it.
Yeah.
Jael does have an interesting question from the chat. Ask Coach Mack.
Okay.
Hey, Coach Mack, how much pressure does a coordinator feel when the head coach starts sitting in on meetings, a.k.a. with Callahan sitting in on special teams meetings nowadays?
Well, really, seriously, no more pressure than you feel when you get the job. There is pressure in coaching in the National Football League. Let's just put that out there, and it's well known. Look. I've been a position coach and had the head coach in my meeting. I've been a coordinator and had the head coach in my meeting. I've been a head coach and have been in other meetings. And it's not to be intimidating. It is to be in there and first of all, to let the players know how, when I was the head coach, how important I know that this is, how important that I know that this is. But the situations with that, you should have enough of a chemistry with your staff and enough knowledge of your staff that if you're coaching at this level, you should be intimidated by nothing. And you should also, coming into the job, it's pressure filled. If the head coach is in there, you know that he's in there not only he's already emphasized it to you in person, I promise you. Mm-hmm. But now he's emphasized it to the players in your room.
I think a great example of that is Sam Pittman bringing in Bobby Petrino, and everybody, including me, is like, why would you bring in your replacement? But look what it's done. Over 600 yards in 3 games this season, and they're winning football games. Coach, thank you, man.
Go ahead.
First
of all, let me just say this.
Yep.
All that hot seat talk about people, Sam Pittman has jumped completely off the hot seat, and they're playing good football.
They are playing good football. Thank you, Coach. Appreciate it.
Guys, you're the best. See you, bye.
All right, Coach Mack, presented by Two Rivers Ford. When we come back, a change at quarterback in the NFL. Not surprising. 3HL 104.5 The Zone.
What up? What's happening? Get the inflammation out your body. I'm telling you that right now, man. Don't think for 1 second that you can't get it done. And you probably think I'm just talking to athletes, but that's wrong too. I'm talking to the everyday human being out there. And when it works, it works. I'm telling you because I did it. And it's likely. Matter of fact, it's going to work. I'm going to just jump out there and tell you that because I did it with my knee. I did it with my shoulder. Also did it with my hip. Pain, inflammation, gone. Haven't popped any prescription drugs, and I don't know how long, man, when I was having to go darn near once or twice a day just to get it right. Get that knee, the inflammation, that burning feeling. It was different. It's your body, your cells, your solution. They also harvest the body stem cells and store them for future and continued use. So if you got them harvested when you was 18, lucky you. When you have an accident when you're 40 or something like that, that's the cells that go and operate on you. Those are the ones that get the inflammation up out of you. So imagine how fast those work. 615-850-4415. That's your consultation number. KellumStemCellInstitute.com.
It's football time in Tennessee. Where are you catching all the college and pro games this season? Scoreboard Bar and Grill is where you need to be. Which location is the question? Scoreboard Opry near Opry Mills Mall in Donaldson or Scoreboard Cedar Creek in Mount Juliet. All Scoreboard locations have brand new football menus with new football and food and drink items sure to impress anyone. Scoreboard Bar and Grill has its own built-in party. Every Scoreboard has tons of TVs. They'll have all of your favorite games on with full sound, the coldest beer, largest Bushwhacker selection that you will find. Oh, and get this, Scoreboard giving away UT tickets to every home game all season long. Just stop in, sign up for our loyalty program. Scoreboard Stars is what it's called. Mark your calendars for the best bourbon bash in Nashville. Scoreboard Opry will have a fantastic bourbon fest on Saturday, November 9th, and all-you-can-eat Low Country Boil. You don't want to miss it. It's football time. It's Scoreboard time. Scoreboard Opry at Scoreboard Cedar Creek. Scoreboard Bar and Grill. 3HL 104.5 The Zone. Britt Doherty, Don Davenport, Ron Slay, the executive producer of 3HL is Zeph.
What's up?
Was that pudding or applesauce that time?
Applesauce.
That's applesauce.
Did you
right
see
there.
they had pudding on the breakfast bar yesterday? Like a whole big vat of it.
And it's good. I just didn't want to go down that road because I know what the hot fudge cake means to me.
Oh, you got a personal relationship?
Yes, absolutely. Can I give a shout out?
Yeah.
Shout outs presented by your mom and him.
Mama, them. I want to give a shout out to Big Savage, man. You know, it pays benefits to have a brother, man, that, you know, is well known out here. So not only did I get an alumni UT sweater, but I got a magnet.
Oh.
And this magnet was because of Ramon Foster. You know what the guy said?
What?
In the receipt that was mailed to his home? Small flex. If this is Ramon from Tennessee / Steelers, want to say thank you and go Vols. Shout out to Cam, the store manager. And enjoy this magnet.
So he didn't know for sure if it was Ramon.
No, but if it's him.
Everything went with it, so he threw that in.
If this is him, no. So, Ramon, I'd like to give you a shout out, Big Savage. Thank you, man.
That's hilarious.
Just like Moses, man. He said, you know, he's just making a way. Only him and Moses can part the sea.
Just like Moses.
That's my guy.
That cracks
go,
me
Savage.
up.
Hoodie.
Can I do a
I got a shout out too.
Oh, yeah,
Hey,
go.
shout out
Yes.
day.
So you guys know I always have like my football board. Mm-hmm. Here, I'll show the chat. This is my one from last week. So I always print out my football 2D.
That looks so much better than anything I've ever worked with in my life, ever. Now, usually I just made mine with a pen and a college ruled sheet of paper.
Yeah, I get this one done for me, and then I put my own notes in
There
it.
you go.
Shout out Tony Britt. But anyway, so I always go to the FedEx to do it. And today, the very nice assistant manager at FedEx that printed my entire board out for me for this weekend's game. His name's Son. And he listens to our show every day. Diehard sports fan, has been a Titans and a Preds season ticket holder forever. Worked on Wall Street for like 11 years and then decided when he was done, he moved back to Nashville because he loves it so much here.
Builds character.
Yes.
sense.
So, Son, what's up? And
What up, Son?
He does love him some Slay.
Hey, and son,
Yep.
I love you like the moon.
Yep. He was at the Ramon,
Stars,
Kayla,
Sun.
and Will soccer event.
Yeah.
Quasars.
Oh, was it?
He was there and I guess met you and he was like, yeah, Slay was drinking a lot.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's Slay.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Yep,
that's gonna be
that's
him.
Slay.
I love
That's
that.
our guy.
Shout out also to our guy David Ferris, who listens to the shows all over Twitter.
Yeah,
and
D.
like
Ferris.
big Tennessee guy. His brother Chris. We've been following Chris's story and praying for him.
Yep.
He's got cancer that showed back up, so they would appreciate any prayers and support from the prayerful 3HL community. So prayers up for Chris Ferris and David Ferris and their entire family.
Absolutely.
I was trying to remember what shout out we needed to do, but that was it. Dawn did it.
Yeah.
Son.
Yeah.
Way to go,
Brought
son.
to you by-
Oh, you did?
Your mom and them.
Yeah, mom and them always get it right.
So, Joe Flacco named starter at Indianapolis. Anthony Richardson will get time to rest. It all stemmed from a play on Sunday where he took himself out of the game. And then after the game, he said this about it.
Man, tired. I ain't gonna lie. That was a lot of running right there that I did, and I don't think I was gonna be able to go that next play. So I just, just told Sam I just needed a break right there.
Yeah.
So, what did Anthony Richardson say? Should we do Anthony Richardson first or Shane Steichen first, Zev?
It doesn't matter.
Let's go Anthony Richardson because he's been benched. You'll hear from Shane Steichen in just a second, but this is what Anthony Richardson said about being
Shane made the decision to switch quarterbacks. How did he explain it to you? Like, why was the decision made? How did he explain that to you?
He just told me that they were gonna go with Joe, and that was that. And I just had to, just take the information and just grow.
Did he explain why?
No, not necessarily.
Yeah. I think
He didn't need to.
Nah, I think you explained it to the world, bro.
I would have explained it as we need you to mature a little bit.
Or
and,
rest.
And rest.
You tired?
Yeah.
Like
Was there a cookie involved on the sideline? That's what happens with the 4-year-old in soccer.
It's a guarantee. It's those the PB&J Uncrustables right there behind the bench. Like, fill up. Hey, you fuel up.
Uncrustables.
Yeah, get you some of them on the bench so you don't cramp up. Like, let's get it all going. We're going to get good.
I'm going to send you guys my picture from halftime of my game.
Crustable?
Yep.
Yes, Babs. I listen. Those are life savers. Those are life savers.
I have the.
I know what you mean.
Just roll with it.
You have Crustables?
Yep.
What?
I've never had a Crustable in my life.
Uncrustable?
I've never had one.
The grape ones are the best.
That's the only ones.
But see, strawberry's not my favorite, but I still love it. So my awesome technical director for my football crew, she makes me my own cooler on the sideline that has like Gatorade Zero and water in it, and a couple Uncrustables for halftime.
You're a big time.
So
that's your own cooler.
She's the best.
Shane Steichen benched Anthony Richardson, announced it to the media. Let's hear what he had to say today.
All right, I'll start off just by confirming Joe will be our quarterback going forward. Tough decision, but one I felt was in the best interest of our football team. I feel that Joe gives us the best chance to win right now. With that being said, not giving up on Anthony by any means. Really not. He's a young player with a ton of talent. And he'll use this time to continue to develop and grow as a professional.
Zeph, you got more background?
That's perfectly said.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so obviously the reporters asked him some more questions. So when asked on if the team made this as a unified decision, he said, "I cannot speak for our team." That got the attention of some media. And then the second thing he said was asked if he will ever start for the Colts again. He said, "I can't predict the future, but I mean, that would be great. I guess we'll see."
I mean, like,
what's he supposed to say?
I guess we'll see, though. I mean, that's far from he's going to be back in there at some point.
Listen, as the coach, I have no earthly idea. I don't know what tomorrow holds. I could have never in my life imagined my starting franchise quarterback would have tapped the side of his helmet and walked off the field saying he's tired and dropped down to one knee. So I don't know if he's going to start again this year or not. Shoot, I might put Jonathan Taylor back there at quarterback for a minute.
Meanwhile, Michael Pittman, Colts wide receiver, said he found out on social media coaching change.
I mean,
that's not ideal.
Especially because he's a team captain.
And especially because he's catching balls.
You know what I would also like to know on that, though?
Yeah.
What did he say to, since you're the team captain, what did you say to Anthony Richardson, too, though? Because we heard, Ryan Kelly that said he had to talk with him? Yeah, what'd you say too, Captain?
As a former professional athlete, would you be surprised if some players didn't say some things to him in the locker room?
Absolutely.
615-737-1045. What's the latest with Will Levis? We'll talk about it next. 3HL 1045 The Zone. Slay dog. You're already in on Kentucky, huh?
Yes.
It's Wednesday. Real estate out of control between guaranteed offer programs and new laws about agent commissions. It's got so confusing. No, it's not confusing. Paying someone a low flat fee to sell your house, and that's where my friends at Listing Spark come in. Listing Spark in Nashville's flat fee real estate company. That's what they are. Flat fee selling is sweeping the nation because it's faster and keeps more money in your pocket. In fact, professional real estate investors have known about it for years. With Listing Spark, you don't pay hefty agent commissions and you don't leave money on the table. If you have a house worth $400,000, you actually sell it for $400,000 without paying $24,000 in agent commissions. Contact Listing Spark today to find out how much your home is worth for free. It's simple. Call 615-993-LIST. That's 615-993-LIST, or go to listingspark.com. That's listingspark.com.
All right, if your family is obsessed with the show Wicked, you are probably wondering how much streaming and memeing your internet can handle at your kid's next Wicked-themed party, right? Well, Xfinity Internet is powerful enough to handle hundreds of devices. So you can get a magical connection with fast speeds, amazing power, even when everyone is online at a sleepover. With Wi-Fi that is truly thrillifying, one might even say Xfinity engineers are secretly wizards themselves. And now through December 22nd, you can get that thrillifyingly fast 150 megabit Xfinity internet for just $35 a month for 12 months with no annual contract. Oh, by the way, free Wi-Fi equipment included for that. Just go to Xfinity.com to learn more. Keep the magic going from your screen to the big screen and see Wicked only in theaters November 22nd. Restrictions do apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra after promo or regular rates apply. Currently $66 a month. Actual speeds vary.
Good afternoon. It is 4 o'clock. I'm Joseph Bonanno live from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. The Titans are back on the practice field today as they get ready to host the New England Patriots at Nissan Stadium on Sunday. The Wednesday injury report is out and doesn't look good for the Tennessee Titans. Just a couple names that are on that list. Tyler Boyd, Jeffrey Simmons, L'Jarius Sneed, Devondre Sweat. There's a lot more. 3HL will give it all to you coming up next in this next segment. However, Will Levis was back and he was throwing today, and Brian Callahan said that they will see what he looks like throughout the rest of the week. In NFL news, the Panthers announced that Bryce Young will make his second straight start after being benched as Andy Dalton is still recovering from a thumb injury. Also tonight, Game 5 of the World Series as the Yankees try to avoid elimination once again as they host the Dodgers. And the Dodgers are looking for their second ring in the last 5 years. Pay attention to Freddie Freeman. He's on a 6-game homer streak in the World Series, trying to make it 7 tonight. First pitch at 7 p.m. For your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Balls. This is 104.5 The Zone.
3HL 104.5 The Zone. Brent Doherty with you on a beautiful day in the Music City. Hope you're having a great, what is today? Wednesday. There he is. There he is. He's Slay Dog.
I'm in the building.
I tried to mess with Zeph there.
I'm in the building.
Zeph got it.
Zeph gets it. Way to get it, Zeph.
You're wearing red like a matador. Bring the bull.
The bull is to the border north of us. In the form
AKA
of a cat.
Kentucky.
Oh.
I got it.
In all of your travels, have you ever been to like a bullfight?
Oh, yeah. You lived overseas forever.
No, I should have. Nope.
That's amazing to me.
I don't really know. But this is the thing. That's what everybody thinks. That's what I try to tell them. Like, I have no time.
Yeah.
Sunday is after the game, party time. Monday is recovery time. Tuesday, you start the whole process back over. Practice.
You're also not going to mess with no bulls.
And I ain't going to play around no bulls at all. Yeah, exactly.
There's no running with the bulls for me.
Oh, man.
I'll jump out of a plane, but I will not do that.
Can you imagine?
Wow.
I mean, why?
Jump out of a plane.
No, run with the bulls in Pamplona.
Yeah, I'm straight on it.
Dawn Davenport will not do that.
No.
She'll jump out of a plane, but not run with the bulls.
Yes.
What up, Babsy?
That is bunk. Now, you just don't have any control. Not that you have control jumping out of a plane, but in my defense, I did do it with the Army Golden Knights, which are the best in the world. So I felt they had some control.
What are the Army helicopters? Not the Comanches, but the other one. Y'all know?
Apaches?
Apache.
Maybe.
That's what I would have went with.
I forget. But anyway, there was a guy that listens to the show that was in the reserves that piloted one of those helicopters. And he said that, it's the same helicopter they went to go get bin Laden and the one that broke down and everything. And it was
the stealth ones.
No, it wasn't the stealth.
The Black Hawk?
Black Hawk.
Yeah.
Thank you, Seth. Good job, Seth. Yeah, Black Hawk. It wasn't the stealth one. Like, I talked to military people after that said they didn't even know that the military had stealth helicopters, stealth Black Hawks, until that whole bin Laden thing. How crazy is that? But anyway, I said, so we were talking about the Black Hawk and like all the things he can do and stuff. And I said, how long would it take for, like, how quickly could you make us throw up? And he said, less than 5 seconds.
Yeah. I told you, now this is Navy, but I flew with the Blue Angels and
It's a special human.
nighttime.
They can knock you out.
Oh, I
Really?
was.
You got knocked out?
Absolutely.
You were on the camera, just like knocked out?
Yeah, 8.5 G's. Night.
Well, going where fast?
Yeah, fast.
helicopter.
We pulled.
No.
I was in
That's
the
that's the big, big boy. They do the tricks.
They do the tricks. Yeah.
With the little stream coming behind.
Yeah, we pulled the 8.5 G's and Mama went night.
In Virginia.
Yeah.
By the way, Babsy sent us a picture of her when she was a little kid. She was like baby Babsy as a ladybug.
Yeah.
You looked very happy to be taking that picture.
And I have been wondering where my daughter gets all these you know what Shiana looks.
Yep. It's right there.
Yep, there it is. I think she get it from her mama.
Speaking of Halloween, tomorrow we will be at Buffalo Wild Wings in Murfreesboro. Y'all will be dressed up?
We will.
Yes.
I got my costume out today. You can't leave me by myself.
No, listen. If my costume ain't ready, I'll go get one.
Okay.
Like I'm coming in something.
I'll be dressed up too, so you won't be alone.
Okay, that's right.
Ecky Bob's going to be dressed up.
Oh, yep. Okay, I won't be alone.
He has a surprise one. Yeah. I wonder what Kelly dress up. Probably not. He'd probably dress up as a Georgia fan.
Oh, Kelly from Buffalo Wild Wings?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what he usually dresses up as.
That's what I'm saying.
Kirby, he'll dress up
as a Kirby.
Where can I find a mask?
Kirby is a character.
Spirit Halloween.
What?
Spirit Halloween.
Where's that at?
Where is Spirit Halloween?
Have you seen the funny memes that it is Nissan Stadium right now?
Spirit Halloween is a like a costume shop that pops up every October, and as they just find like abandoned like businesses and they take over them for 2 months.
Yeah,
really.
So just go find one.
Oh,
they're everywhere.
Is there one in Murfreesboro on the way to Buffalo Wild Wings?
I'm sure, or a Walmart or something. I'm sure you can swing on it.
Walmart. Get one of those. Remember when you were a kid and you put on that, like, it's not even plastic. It's like fake plastic stuff and you just be sweating.
Yeah.
Never like that. Give me the mask.
Oh, yeah.
615-737-1045. Coming up at 4:20, Todd Furman will walk through some of the bigger college football games, all the SEC games, Ohio State, Penn State also. Can James Franklin get that elusive big game win?
He hasn't yet.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards betting on him, too. That's crazy. That's how much I don't trust Ohio State, but.
Do you trust Will Levis's arm he threw today?
Good for him.
So they were going to see how he threw and then how he felt tomorrow and Friday.
Yeah.
It's all about the reaction after you throw.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Because, and Levis talked about that too. By the way, he's listed on the injury report as limited participation today.
We're going to get to that. That's a lengthy thing. First, let's hear from Brian Callahan, who offered up a Will Levis update today.
Will come out to practice today. We're going to try to get a feel for where he's at after some rest, see how he feels throwing the ball, see how it looks. The more important part for Will right now is going to be not just today, but, Thursday, Friday's worth of days consecutively throwing to see how that goes. He feels good after the rest and some time off of throwing, so we'll see what it looks like as the week goes along.
That's a big thing.
I'm just kind of like, you can't be anything but wait and see, right? Like, I get Dawn's point. Like, we need to see him this weekend against a, quote-unquote, theoretically inferior opponent. Would be a good opportunity for him to get out there. Especially, out of the entire, I keep using this word every week, calamity that we saw in Detroit. The one thing we did see was Brian Callahan get into a rhythm as a play caller. So can they build off that? Can they stack that performance at least?
I'm scared to say this, but I'm going to say it aloud.
Uh-oh.
It can't be worse than what Mason did up there.
The four turnovers?
It can always get worse.
I know it can, but
I say things like that, and she says that every day.
We right here. Sheesh.
It can always get worse. Please don't have to replay that next week.
Football
Please.
Jesus?
Yeah, come on. Come on.
The football gods?
You got to turn the corner just a little bit. You ain't even got to go all the way around the corner. Just put your blink on and let us know you're turning. And that'll be good for me. You ain't got to turn the corner. Just have the blink on so nobody runs in the back of your car.
If he's going to throw, gas balls like he did, I don't know what to call them. The last time out, then just wait another week. But if he can let it rip, I'm with Don. You need to see as much out of this guy as you can, man, while you're going through this crap.
Especially through adversity and
yes,
with him having adversity.
At least get him evaluated. Y'all are saying he's already been evaluated?
I go back to my possibly crossing the line comment at the beginning of the show that I think he's mentally fragile. And so that's where my concern lies too with him.
But this is when you show those times.
Right.
If you're not.
Which is why
growth.
We need to see him. Mm-hmm. We need to see him. We need to see if there is growth.
He got to be 90%. Can't do the rest of the team.
Suck it up, Levis. Let's go.
No, don't say it because he will. He will suck it up.
I know
he will.
No,
he's not Anthony Richardson.
No, he wants to be out there. He going to give you one more play.
There's one thing you can say about Will Levis.
No,
he
is
fight. Tough.
Yeah,
and
he
will
fight.
fight.
Yeah,
and sometimes he will make really dumb decisions to try and get a first down or win a game. So, yes.
You said that a long time ago that you were concerned he was too competitive.
Yep. And I feel like we've seen that a little bit.
All right, so depth chart, injury report. Injury report. Do you want to do that, or does Zeph want to do that?
Do
you have it in front of you?
I do.
All right, Babsy.
All right.
You're on.
You want me to hit all the did not practices first?
Yeah.
Okay. There's
9.
Did I catch a niner in there?
A niner. There's 9 that did not go. But the problem is it's the 9 which didn't go.
Okay.
Right? Here you go. Wide receiver Tyler Boyd, shoulder. Safety Amani Hooker, groin. Ooh. Running back Tony Pollard, foot. Guard Dylan Radens, foot. Wide receiver Calvin Ridley, shoulder. Offensive lineman Andrew Rupsich, triceps.
Wait, how did he get hurt?
I don't know. Defensive tackle Jeffrey Simmons, rest. We knew that was coming. L'Jarius Sneed, corner, quad. Tavondre Sweat, hip. Corner Trey Avery, hamstring. And then you had Tajay Spears, hamstring, back limited, and Levis with his shoulder back limited. Every single one of those guys you count on, right?
Yeah.
I know it's only Wednesday.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah, me personally.
But that's a hard one to stomach.
It don't move me yet.
Okay.
Only because
It's Wednesday?
it's Wednesday and it's week 8. Well, we going into week 9, right?
Yeah, week 8 for them. Week 9. NFL.
Yeah. But so I'm like at this
7.
point with no more buys in the foreseeable future. Like that's over. We're gonna have our buy. It's over with. You got to find days to rest. And with them guys being veterans, I can't point to one of them and say, "Hey, man, you really need to be out here practicing right now."
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Man, I would.
I mean, and we know Sweat's injured.
Yeah. Big Jeff, you know, he been fighting. Like, Sneed, you know what he going through. I will go and throw this out there, though. There's 2 people on that list that I do need to see some impactfulness from. And that's Tyler Boyd and Amani Hooker. Like from the void that was left to be filled from Kevin Byard leaving, and Amani's supposed to step up. I thought he made strides last year. I expected a little bit more this year. And I don't have an excuse for him because this defense is nasty. When all in, you know what I mean? Even with Brownlee Jr. being out there, even with McCreary having to scoot over, Cheeto being out, they still good.
How much
Quandre's
different
out there.
How much different would it be for that defense if the offense was compatible on some level? You know, without all of the short field, quick changes. I mean, start 5 drives inside the 30.
Yeah. I mean, I ain't blaming him in the fourth quarter, but give me some impactful plays. He is always around it. I need to see a little bit more.
Todd Father coming up next. Ole Miss, Arkansas, Vanderbilt, Auburn, Maine, Oklahoma. Oklahoma trying to get off the schneid a little bit. Florida, Georgia, UMass, Mississippi State. Same with Mississippi State. They've lost 7 in a row. They should win that one. Texas A&M, South Carolina. That's an interesting matchup. A&M only a 2.5-point favorite. That D-line against that Texas A&M offense will be interesting.
I got a 10-leg parlay already.
Oh, my gosh. Kentucky, Tennessee, Penn State, and Ohio State, Pittsburgh, SMU, Texans, Jets, Patriots, Titans, all that coming up. Todd Furman next. 3HL 104.5 The Zone.
I did it last night. What's happening, y'all? This is that opportunity you've been looking for. Yep, the weather is going to be, it's beautiful right now, but
it's coming.
Yeah, it's coming, Babsy. Don't you think for 1 second this is the weather that lasts 365 days a year in Tennessee. Nope, you'll be wrong. You got an opportunity to go get your Generac automatic standby generator from Cove Generators. Yes, you do. Hit Generator Day, but be prepared so you don't have to lose power again. You can always be connected, and they even got a little bonus for you on it.
Yeah, a bonus as in a free new 7-year warranty upgrade, which is over $1,000 value. All you have to do is tell them Dawn and Slay sent you from 3HL 104.5 The Zone and get you a Generac automatic standby generator. Here's the deal with Cove Generators, though. I feel like we don't say it enough. All they do is generators, which means that is what they know, and they know everything about them, and they can make sure that your generator is seamlessly integrated into your home. It's quiet, it's ready to go. They also monitor it to make sure if there happens to be bad weather that it's ready to go. Cove Generators, the best at generators. Visit Cove, C-O-V-E, generators.com to get that special. Never lose power again. Give them a call at 931-559-3311.
Stay connected through it all.
Real estate out of control between guaranteed offer programs and new laws about agent commissions. It's got so confusing. No, it's not confusing. Paying someone a low flat fee to sell your house, and that's where my friends at Listing Spark come in. Listing Spark in Nashville's flat fee real estate company. That's what they are. Flat fee selling is sweeping the nation because it's faster and keeps more money in your pocket. In fact, professional real estate investors have known about it for years. With Listing Spark, you don't pay hefty agent commissions and you don't leave money on the table. If you have a house worth $400,000, you actually sell it for $400,000 without paying $24,000 in agent commissions. Contact Listing Spark today to find out how much your home is worth for free. It's simple. Call 615-993-LIST. That's 615-993-LIST, or go to listingspark.com. That's listingspark.com. 3HL 104.5 The Zone. Brent Doherty, Don Davenport, Ron Slay. The other day, Slay Dog included the CBJ. He said, "Who's CBJ in the NHL?"
Mm-hmm.
I said, "Come on, you're betting on a team you don't even know their name."
No.
And they won 6-1. Todd Furman joins us now. So we just call the Columbus Blue Jackets the CBJs around here.
I mean, look, you may as well go shorthand when you can, but the fact Slay's betting on them when he doesn't know who they actually are is a little bit more problematic than anything else.
Todd Father, that's what I want everybody thinking. That's when I know I got everybody fooled.
I mean, look, I'm a huge fan of the bait and switch when you can pull it off with listeners on a day-in, day-out basis. Brent's been doing it for 10-plus years in this time slot.
Hey,
something to be said for that.
Having Furman on.
You don't have anything for Dawn? I mean, Auburn's playing Vandy this weekend.
Oh. No, I actually, we can kick things off there. I actually like Dawn's alma mater this week. I think it's a good opportunity to make a case for Auburn. Laying the 6.5. For the first time all season, I liked what I saw from Auburn offensively against Kentucky, rattling off nearly 500 yards and put together a complete 4 quarters. Defensively, they were stout. Clamped down on Brock Vandegrift, had Kentucky scrambling for answers, so much so that we got the Gavin Wimsatt experience, which is never pleasant for anybody who watched him perform at Rutgers. And when I look at Vandy, I think this is a team that's going to be out of gas. You look at the stretch they've had since their bye week after that double overtime loss against Missouri. Home against Alabama, at Kentucky, home against Ball State, where they kind of went through the motions, home against Texas, and they fought valiantly last week. We thought they could be a live underdog, catching 17, and the game could stay under. You had to sweat the under a little bit, but the dog was never really in doubt. Now going on the road for an early kickoff at Jordan-Hare, I think this is a cheap price for Auburn under a touchdown, and I look for the Tigers to get the win and cover on Saturday.
What did I say before the show? Mayor said, Dawn, what do you think about your alma mater? I said, I think they are going to kick some A. Some A.
And what was my response? Vanderbilt's got to run out of gas at some point.
Exactly.
There is one thing that concerns me. If there's one coach that has had Hugh Freeze's number over the last couple of years, he's on the Vanderbilt staff, and that would be Jerry Kill. So if I'm Auburn, I know it's not the same program, and Diego Pavia is not wearing the same helmet, but you have to imagine that Auburn remembers what Pavia did in this spot last year as a massive underdog. You know, embarrassing the Tigers is more than a 3-touchdown favorite. I don't think they'll get lost on the veterans in the room, that they may want to try and make a statement. And when you look at what Auburn has in front of them sitting at 3-5, I mean, they need to go 3-1 down the stretch. If you beat Vandy here, you take care of business against Louisiana Monroe out of the bye, then you have to pull off an upset against A&M or Bama to make it to the postseason.
See, Todd Father, that right there, I love every bit of that. You put the athlete's mentality into the bet. Hell yes.
See, look, I'm trying to learn by your example, Slay, and get things trending in the right direction. Although I am a little bit concerned that we may have created too much optimism in the Vols fan base with a tweet that I tagged you guys in yesterday, thinking now it's national championship or bust if this offense can get out of their own way.
I mean, you put it out there. That's on you, Furman.
You did.
Hey, look, I did. I mean, everyone tells me I'm nothing but a hater. All I do is pick on Slay, that he's got to go cry himself to sleep every Wednesday night after we wrap this segment. And I just wanted to prove to Vol Nation that's not exactly true. I am a man who does not wear his heart on his sleeve and looks at all of these teams as stocks you buy and sell on a week-in, week-out basis.
Yeah, so the what Todd is referring to, his tweet, Tennessee is the only FBS team to allow under 20 points in every game this season. They're only the 5th SEC team since 2000 to hold each of its first 7 opponents under 20 points. Previous 4 all won national titles. I mean, you did it.
I mean, he's a genius to me.
Look, I mean, the defense has held up its side of the bargain, and maybe we get glimpses of this Tennessee offense that was billed as an elite unit coming into the season, and it starts this week against the Kentucky team that, quite frankly, hasn't been able to do much on the defensive side. They gave up boatloads of explosive plays against DJ Lagway in Gainesville. They gave up chunks of yardage against Auburn last week, and if Tennessee is going to sort out what ails this team offensively, it's got to happen coming out of the bye. You'd love to be able to play with your foot on the accelerator and force a Kentucky team that's extremely limited offensively to play from behind. I'm not running to the window to advocate laying, this number north of 2 touchdowns. I'll leave that to Slay to predict the exact final score in this spot. But if I was going to get involved here, I think you'd match up the strength of the Tennessee team against the weakness of Kentucky, and that would be the Vols defense against the Kentucky offense. And I'd look at Kentucky's team total under 14.5 as Tim Banks' unit continues to play downhill in conference.
Right. So what you're saying is what I said is Tennessee 34-3.
Sure.
Or no, I said nothing. 34-0. I said shut up.
Look, predicting shutouts in a conference game is a little bit of a leap of faith, and I applaud the optimism and the fact that all Vols fans have been blinded by that great hype video Nike put out with their all-black uniforms on Saturday night. But I'm not going to be as bold to predict a complete and utter domination of that regard, but I do think Kentucky struggles to score more than 2 touchdowns.
All right, before we continue, I'm going to roll this by you. Ready?
Fire away.
Penn State money line, Oregon money line, Georgia money line, Jets money line, Liberty -2.5, Kennesaw State +24.5, Indiana money line, Nebraska money line, Mississippi State money line, and Clemson money line. That sounds like a winning card.
I lost track of that after about 2 legs, so I completely tuned out.
You got it. No, Top 5. You got to have your thinking cap on when you come on here. Ain't no losing track when I'm spitting. You hearing them numbers spit out right there? So winning ticket.
That's a 10-leg parlay from Parsley.
Slay. There's a difference between putting out my thinking cap and making sure that I have all my wits about me to come up with witty retorts. It's another thing when you turn this into a game of memory where I have to recite all the teams that you rattled off that you couldn't even remember were on your card if you didn't have the list directly in front of you.
That's true.
That's absolutely.
Listen, he said the books love parlays.
And they love parsley.
Yeah, it's a 10-leg parlay, Furman.
Look, they don't keep building casinos and they don't keep reporting record earnings of the FanDuels and the DraftKings of the world because everybody is cashing 10-team parlays at exorbitant price tags. So let's just put it that way that parlays are the lottery ticket and basically glorified Keno of the sports betting space.
All right,
They're
so
fun,
I use parsley.
His first game was Penn State money line. So let's start there. Can James Franklin get off the schneid with regard to a big game win?
It's a great question, and one I think Penn State fans have been asking for as long as James Franklin has been the bench boss there. I look at Penn State's resume so far this season, and it raises some legitimate concerns because the defensive numbers look great, but who have they really played in terms of opposing offenses that can stress them some? You look at the crooked number that Bowling Green hung on them early in the year. You look at a USC team that was able to put 30 points on Penn State that's really struggled to put together 4 quarters. The one area where I do think Penn State has an edge is along their defensive line. If they can generate pressure, we know Ohio State's offensive line has been their Achilles heel, but I do think Ohio State is going to be a little bit more focused for this game than what we saw last week coming out of the bye against Nebraska, where they put up season lows in nearly every offensive category. My big question is Penn State offensively. Where do they go to try and hunt the big play? And I don't care who's under center. I don't make a massive adjustment for Drew Aller or, Bo Prabula, depending on who starts. I really think we'll see both of them if Penn State wants to keep Ohio State off balance. But I just don't like the skill position talent for Penn State other than the tandem that they have in the backfield. Tyler Warren is a nice piece, but if Ohio State comes in with the same game plan as USC, allowing Warren to catch 200 balls for 7,000 yards, then this is Jim Knowles at his absolute worst. It just feels like a buy low opportunity for Ohio State at -3. Haven't gotten there yet, but I'm definitely intrigued as the number continues to trend in Penn State's favor.
Man, I just feel like in this situation, I'm with you on that. Penn State, who have they played? But at the same time, Ohio State has been dragging the can, not kicking it down the street. They dragging the can down the street, and it's a light can. And that's what Will Howard leading this bunch. I don't trust him, Todd Father.
Oh, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Don't by any means misconstrue this as me thinking Ohio State has looked like a juggernaut, either on the offensive or defensive side. We have plenty of data points with Larry Johnson, the defensive line coach, in big games where he just isn't able to get this team ready to go. My problem here is that I look at the way the betting market is pricing Penn State and Oregon right now. Ohio State closed as roughly a field goal favorite, 2.75, we'll call it, for their trip to Autzen. I know this is much more familiar territory, but right now, given the way these teams are currently constructed, if I have a chance to bet Oregon on a neutral field at Pick'em against Penn State like this number says, that becomes one of my biggest bets of the year where I make the Ducks about a 3.5, 4-point favorite in that spot.
Yeah, I'm with that.
Todd Furman.
Dropping it on us. That's the hand I like when you got on. Now you talking.
Got data points for defensive line coaches. I love this. Texas A&M, huge win, obviously. They go to Marcel Reed, and if they don't, they lose, which changes everything in the SEC. Now they go to South Carolina. I kind of like the matchup, that South Carolina defensive line against the A&M offense. Am I crazy?
Yeah, that game for me last week was the definition of the right handicap and the wrong result, because I thought Connor Wegman could struggle against LSU going 6 of 18, had an under 55 ticket. They go to Marcel Reed and the game completely goes haywire with the way things exploded in the fourth quarter. And credit Texas A&M. That was the one matchup we were wondering about. Could their defensive line make Garrett Nussmeier uncomfortable? Forced him into a couple turnovers that led to short fields, and kudos to A&M for remaining the only unbeaten team in conference. But you do wonder their ability to run it back in an underrated home field advantage at Williams-Brice Stadium on a Saturday night where South Carolina comes in a little bit more well-rested. You mentioned South Carolina and what they can do defensively. That D-line is probably one of the more unheralded units out there. Yeah. I do think the mobility of Marcel Reed can be a neutralizing impact for A&M compared to more of a pocket passer in Connor Wegman. But my biggest concern with South Carolina, and why I haven't gotten there yet, although I do encourage all the listeners to check out the Bet the Board podcast, as Brad Powers had a strong stance on this game, is that Lenoris Sellers against a Mike Elko defense. Can he minimize the mistakes, go out there, play within the system, and come up with a few unique wrinkles? This, for me, one of the more fascinating games for an A&M team who would love to be able to continue to control its own destiny to get the SEC title. And normally I'd be inclined to go under 44, but it's turnovers. If we get Reed and Lenoris Sellers creating short fields, that would have me a bit hesitant. We saw that on full display when South Carolina went to Oklahoma, and the only reason that game went over the total was because South Carolina's defense was the one putting their offense in a great position.
4 teams to pick from right here. 2 of them matching up. Who's for real? Arkansas, what we just saw out of them, or is Florida trying to turn the corner, and can they do it against Georgia?
Florida has impressed me some, given the fact that this was a team whose win total coming into the year sat at 5.5, and we talked before the year that Florida could realistically finish the year as a top 20 power-rated team and still not find a way to become bowl eligible, given what they have in front of them. Now suddenly Florida needs 2 wins to get there, and that regular season finale against Florida State doesn't look as daunting as it was before the season, so you begin to identify where the Gators can pick up a win. Do I think it comes in Jacksonville on Saturday? Probably not. But look, trying to guess in terms of what Georgia team we're going to see remains one of the bigger mysteries. Will I get the defensive line performance that we saw on the road in Austin against Texas, or will I get the same defensive line that allowed Mississippi State to go up and down the field on them? And that remains anybody's best guess. I haven't loved some of the decisions that I've seen from Carson Beck. I don't love the off-field decision to buy your Instagram girlfriend a Lamborghini or a Ferrari. You might want to keep that money in the bank, but that's neither here nor there. And when we begin to assess where Georgia is, Georgia's ceiling is as good as anybody. I just haven't seen enough of it. And I think Florida will have a decent script with Billy Napier. They'll figure out what DJ Lagway wants to do. And if Florida's able to hit him with a big play early on in the game, it could make it difficult for Georgia to run away and hide. So no strong opinion there. You mentioned the Ole Miss-Arkansas game. Going to monitor a couple of injuries in that one. It's a question of if Ole Miss will have Trey Harris on the offensive side. He was a game-time decision, didn't go, and that offense lacks big play potential when Harris can't be out there. And Walter Nolan didn't finish the game, went out in the final series of the first half, and he's kind of the glue that holds that D-line together. But credit Travis Williams and this Arkansas staff defensively. They've tried to mask what they don't have in that defensive backfield with a D-line that's been good stopping the run, neutralizing explosives. And the other thing for Arkansas, I'm not sure how healthy this backfield is. I don't expect Jaquindon Jackson to be out there from folks I've spoken to close to the program. Braylon Russell, had a hamstring injury. We're not quite sure of the severity, but he could be touch and go. So if that backfield is depleted against this Ole Miss defensive front, I think it could put a lot more on Taylon Green to make plays. But give Arkansas credit. They've covered 11 of the last 12 meetings against Ole Miss, and this has been an SEC rivalry dictated by home field advantage. Can't get there with the dog, but I would be intrigued by the under if Nolan is up for Ole Miss and Trey Harris is out on the offensive side.
Todd Furman with us, our guy in Vegas. Let's go over the NFL. Patriots at Titans. Titans somehow, Todd Father, a 3.5-point favorite in this matchup.
Do I think the Titans win? Yes. Am I willing to lay 3.5 with this inept team? Absolutely, positively not. Now, silver lining for the Titans. They held the Detroit Lions last week to under 250 yards. Yet somehow, inexplicably, they gave up 50-plus points. So kudos to them for raising the bar on a variety of fronts. But this is a Patriots team that I think will really struggle to move the football against the Titans defense here. We typically see in the NFL when you get those statistically improbable performances like the Lions had, there's a little bit of positive regression that should be baked in for the Titans. But I don't trust laying points with a bad football team right now, struggling to find their offensive identity. So this is a game I'm not real interested to tango with side or total.
He has BTS, battered Titan syndrome.
Yeah, you completely just jumped off the ship.
It's brutal. I've tried to do everything I could to clamor for this team being undervalued going back to week one, then jumping back on the Titans when they were in Western New York against the Bills with the upgraded quarterback to Mason Rudolph. Thankfully, as that number continued to climb on Sunday against the Lions, I didn't get involved at 13, even though I made the game closer to the 11 range. And that was one of the worst decisions for the house, because normally when you get games like that, the general public backs the favorite and continues to bet it up, but you eventually get a little bit of buyback from professionals. They got absolutely none from the books I talked to. The professionals were waiting for a 14, and that would have been a pure value proposition. Never got there, and was one of the worst decisions for the house on Sunday.
All right, Top 5. I like to ask you two things twice.
Well, this is actually coming from me, so if this falls on its face, it's my fault.
The Vols got kitty cats. Dogs, they chase cats. Dogs run cats away. There's one coming from up north in Lexington where there's a lot of bluegrass. And I don't even think they run that state. I'm going to give it to the L's up. I'm going to give it to Louisville. They got to come down there to Rocket Top. That's right, I said it. 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 Yeah, I said it. I'm going to stand on it. I'm going to stand behind it. Vols by 19. Top Father, put that in your book.
That doesn't give you a whole lot of wiggle room. If you're laying 16.5, you may have to sweat the back door late in the game. But I won't argue with that. I think if it's under 17, it's favored or pass. The bigger question for you, though, Slay, if I don't want to get caught looking too far ahead, but when you look at some of the numbers, if I make Georgia a 10-point favorite, or your Vol is going to be able to go into Athens and be able to beat the Dogs in a game that they probably have to have if they want to bolster that playoff resume.
Top 5, I'm going to tell you this right now, and I'm not looking ahead. I'm going to stay right there in the moment, but I'm going to go and step outside my door, look on the porch, and look down the street, and I can see that game down there. Give me the Vols plus them 10, and give me the under, and I don't even know what it's set at.
Yeah, you know what? The total is actually the angle I like, and I think as we get closer to game day, we're going to be talking about that number in the high 40s. Haven't seen a total posted on that, but I would love the opportunity to go under something inflated, in the 54, 55 range. I just don't think we're going to get that when we get to game week in the middle of November.
Well, listen, Tennessee's got to get past Mississippi State, too, there, Todd, before they get to Georgia.
Well, look, Mississippi State made a change at quarterback. I do like what I've seen from Van Buren under center, but that Mississippi State defense, if your Vols can't move the football against what the Bulldogs put out there for their starting 11, you may as well cancel the program or see if Joe Milton's got a little eligibility left to upgrade things at the position.
And then after Georgia, I noticed Tennessee plays UTEP, so I looked up UTEP, and they're not good.
No.
Yeah, UTEP was an interesting watch, although UTEP does have Middle Tennessee State this week. The Miners, a 3-point favorite. They still don't know who their quarterback is going to be, and last week for UTEP, they came up short against Louisiana Tech. They didn't have a quarterback attempt to pass of more than 7 yards downfield. Scotty Walden, their head coach, said, our quarterback could do it. We just didn't feel comfortable in that spot with a limited grasp of the playbook with him getting in there because their starter got injured.
So Middle Tennessee State plus the 3? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, I'm not running to back Middle Tennessee State. They may have the worst defense that I've seen in the FBS, but I do think they're a little bit more dynamic offensively. And no disrespect meant, but it's not going to stop me from saying it. I've watched enough Conference USA football the last couple weeks on Tuesdays and Wednesdays that sometimes it feels like it's maybe a mid to higher tier of high school football being played than anything closer to what we see from some of the Power 4 conferences or even the AAC or Sunbelt.
Do we need another college football game to know anything about, Todd?
Yeah, I'll give you one. It's in the Big 12, and it's a team that's starting to trend up quietly, playing some of their best football. And you go through their resume and some of the losses that they have so far, and you can understand why they were outclassed. And that would be Baylor, who is laying a modest number at home against TCU. Look, full disclosure here, I don't know exactly what TCU is. Then again, I'm not sure Sonny Dykes, their head coach, does either, given how erratic some of their performances have been. But Baylor has really started to discover a ground game. It's created more balance. Sawyer Robertson has clearly won the job and has complete grasp of what they want to do offensively. And I look at Baylor's defense. While they're not an elite stop unit, despite having a defensive-minded head coach, they've definitely trended up. And I think, them calling out a lot of their fans for a lackluster showing last week against Oklahoma State. Night game in Waco, you're going to get a little better turnout, a little bit of revenge for Baylor as well for the last couple of years. And I think it's a short number on the Bears at only minus a field goal against the Horned Frogs.
Bet the Board podcast, college pod is out. NFL tomorrow. Thank you, Todd. Good stuff, man. Appreciate you.
Always a pleasure, guys. And Don, it tells you how much we think about the Navy-Rice game you get to cover this week, that it never even made the discsion, and it's right where it should be.
Furman.
Always a pleasure, guys.
All right.
Always a pleasure.
I'll remember this one.
There he goes. He stopped.
See ya.
I didn't even know what game you had. Navy-Rice. You told me that.
I did tell you that. Listen, Navy's looking for a bounce back after that Notre Dame
Also,
uncharacteristic performance for them.
Your boy, Rhett Lashley's got it going at SMU.
Yeah, he does.
Ranked 20th in the country. They are a 7.5-point favorite over undefeated Pittsburgh coming up this weekend.
You know what?
I told you guys a long time ago before he became a head coach, I'm like, this guy's going to be successful.
Yep, you did.
I'm gonna go on and hurry up. I'm gonna do another parlay and go on and hurry up and bet this over. Petrino and Lane Kiffin is at 53.5 right now.
A lot of points.
Yeah, I'm gonna bust that wide open. They might get like 65, 70 on this one.
All right, 3HL broadcasting live from the world-famous Music Row. Tomorrow we'll be in Murfreesboro. We'd love to see you out there. Vandy's basketball roster, interesting. It came out today. Gotta ask Slay about it real quick. That'll be next. 3HL 104.5 The Zone.
I love living in Middle Tennessee. We've got great restaurants, entertainment, sports, and one of the nation's top Ford dealers right here in our backyard. Two Rivers Ford. Remember that name. Two Rivers has been a staple in our community since 1983. They're locally owned. They have a non-commissioned sales team, and they sell below MSRP. They've been doing business with integrity for decades. Two Rivers Ford, the South's most trusted Ford dealer.
Hello, I'm Ashley Northington, Chair of Moving Forward of Middle Tennessee. The upcoming transit referendum is a game changer for our economy, business leaders, and the entire community. A robust transit system is essential for a thriving economy. With 54 miles of high-capacity transit corridors and 86 miles of new sidewalks, this plan enhances Nashville's connectivity, making it easier for everyone to get where they need to go. This isn't just about transportation, it's about economic empowerment. For business leaders, reliable transit means a more productive workforce. Shorter commutes boost productivity and job satisfaction, helping businesses attract and retain top talent. Improved transit also drives sales and supports local economies by making it easier for customers to reach businesses. The benefits extend to the entire community, connecting people to essential services, education, and recreation. This creates a more inclusive city where everyone can access the resources they need to thrive. Supporting the Choose How You Move transit referendum is an investment in our future. This is about creating a city where businesses can flourish, residents can thrive, and the community enjoys a higher quality of life. Join me in backing this transformative opportunity. Let's build a Nashville where everyone has the opportunity to succeed and to prosper. Visit the link in the caption to learn more about the referendum, how it will support our community, and how you can get involved. Thank you.
3HL 104.5, The Zone. Britt Doherty, Don Davenport, Ron Slay with you on a Wednesday afternoon in the Music City. Coming at Murfreesboro tomorrow. Is that the way to say that? We're going to be headed to Murfreesboro tomorrow. That's better. Buffalo Wild Wings in Murfreesboro. Zeph's going to be dressed up.
Yep.
We're all dressed
So am I.
Bav's going to be dressed up.
I'm a little worried. You're going to get a mask on your way into.
Mm-hmm. I had multiple messages come at me that there are costume places in Murfreesboro.
It got to be.
Gator Mike, actually. Not multiple, one. Gator Mike. Send me a text message. He said, whatever that Halloween store you said, Zeph, they've got one in Murfreesboro is what he said.
Spirit Halloween.
I've never heard of it.
I can't believe you've never heard of Spirit Halloween.
They got good costumes?
I mean, it's like a little bit of a.
No, man, you answered it. You answered it.
It's
you
a
answered
fancy.
It. You answered it.
It's a fancy party city.
That's like when Babs said, "Man."
Yeah.
Right.
What was that about? Playoff hockey?
No, that was the yawn.
No, that was the yawn.
Playoff hockey.
Playoff hockey.
And you didn't mean to, which was funny.
It was not on purpose.
Oh, man.
I feel bad about that one.
615-737-1045. If you want to watch the show live, YouTube, Facebook Live, Twitter, and Twitch.
Twitch, please.
You can get us there. The F&M Bank Chat is open. Slade Dog's got a big sweatshirt, Tennessee sweatshirt lying in front of me.
That's right. Ooh, them peanuts.
It's nut dust, man.
Haven't you learned your lesson, Will Levis?
Yeah, no, I just like keep bumping. I like to keep bumping my head, Babs. That is what it is.
Did you eat dinner last night after all that?
No.
There you go. It lasted all the way through.
I don't think. No, I didn't.
You've really got me craving the chicken Big Mac at McDonald's. I just haven't pushed through there yet.
Better be careful.
That's all you need for the meal?
I made a vow last night. I'm done eating
sandwich?
that. I'm done eating. I've eaten it like 6 times.
Doesn't McDonald's have like an E. coli thing going on right now?
No, that was for quarter pounders. And
quarter pounders.
that was not here, and it's been eradicated.
Don't do that. Don't do that,
I was asking a question. I phrased it as a question.
Over a billion served.
That is fair. We are here to educate our listeners, and that's what you're doing.
The latest part of the story, though, is that it has been eradicated, and they're good to go.
And the other part of the story is Ron is eating 10 chicken Big Mac meals in about 6 days.
And hasn't had an
I'm still
issue.
here.
Ron.
Yeah, exactly. Because it ain't
Who's
me.
Ron?
It ain't Slay.
Thanks for the information, guys.
Slay quits.
Ron's conscience.
Yeah, I'm not doing that no more.
Vandy's roster, basketball-wise, has every player listed as a point guard.
What?
Coach Mark Byington has said he wants guys to think and act like that. How do you take that? Every player listed as a point guard.
I like that. I like that, and I like it even more when we get into the film study. And it's they keep rewinding that it's a point guard clapping for the ball. And I'm gonna tell them as a big man, Coach, you the one said anybody can, start to play. I get the rebound. Why am I looking for a point guard? I'm listed as a point guard too. So you the one listed this, not me.
You would have enjoyed being listed as a point guard, wouldn't you?
Oh no, you leave me right where I am. I want the center to try to match up or the power forward to match up on me.
So who's the biggest guy that's listed as a point guard?
I think they got a guy that's like 6'9".
I love it.
Let me. They're small. Yeah, they're small in the front court. I know that for sure. I think.
Yeah, you and Shane were talking about that.
Yeah, that's where the trouble may lie a little bit. But one thing about it, you scrappy. You can push pace. You got a 7-footer in, and he's guarding somebody 6'9", 6'10" that can start the offense. You could be in trouble. So
yeah, their biggest guy is Kijani Wright, a junior, 6'9", 235. Look at you, Slay.
Well, I mean, there's one guy. There's one guy in the building that is an analyst for the SEC Network, and he's eating peaches.
Yeah, I'm done.
They also have 2 guys who are 6'8".
169 guy, 268 guy. Is Vanderbilt the kind of team that'll hit like 16 threes and just smoke you out of the building one day and then not hit anything and get blown out the next day?
Yeah, Kentucky may be the same way.
Ooh.
Really?
They're both going to play similar styles. And I think both teams, because of the styles, will beat people that they're not supposed to beat, but they'll also turn around and lose the people that they're not supposed to lose to, too.
I feel like it's going to be fascinating to watch Kentucky this year and Arkansas. And
then this style, we haven't seen this style at Kentucky. You know what I'm saying? We've seen a pressing, get out, transition, dunks, lobs, athletes running. This one right here, they getting out and running, but everybody's running to the three-point line. It is Man, the old man on the bench wagging his finger that don't like this game, you better not watch Kentucky. They literally have 5 guys on the three-point line.
So
like
they're
they
gonna
set a screen and do a ghost screen and just run to the three-point line.
So that's 5 out.
5 out.
5 out.
And you better shoot or you coming out.
So they're going to blow some people out, but then to your point, they're gonna have a couple losses theoretically in the pre-conference schedule that you're like, wait, what?
Yes.
Okay.
Like I think Alabama is probably the best team because of what they brought back.
Mm-hmm.
Vandy can go play with, or Kentucky can go play with Alabama, but you playing Alabama style without a 7-footer. So it could go either way. You know what I mean? It's going to be fun.
You got to be what you are. 5 o'clock hour coming up. We've got Brian Callahan. You'll hear more from him. Titans talk. Is Will Levis going to be able to go through today? All that coming up. Some college football talk. Want to give another shout out. Our buddy Jim Parker, who's listened to the show for a long time, reached out and he said, if at all possible, can you give a shout out to my son Cameron Parker? He has DMD and is presently in ICU at Vanderbilt. Thanks, guys, if you're able. And so there's the shout out for Cameron. Prayers up, little guy. And if you guys
Cameron.
can say some prayers for that family, that would be great. And Cameron Parker, think about you, buddy. All right, more 3HL next. 104.5 The Zone. I just told Slay I saw a story about this girl, Martha Stewart. She's got a Netflix documentary, and she's not happy about it.
Oh, I ain't either.
We'll talk about it. Gupta Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. That's where you need to go to get that next new vehicle. These guys are the absolute best. So if you're thinking about getting that next new vehicle, make sure you include Gupton in the process. If you haven't started the process, start there because you'll end there. They are awesome people. Daniel Gupton and his crew ready to help you out. If you have been going dealership to dealership, make sure you include Gupton in that process because, again, these are the best guys out there, and they are ready to help you out. Just tell them what you're looking for. Let them know. New or pre-owned, car, truck, SUV, Jeep, whatever you're looking for, they'll be able to help you, point you in the right direction. You go take your test drive, go inside. They will help make the numbers work, and it'll be that easy. Service department after the point of sale, phenomenal. They'll let you know when you need an oil change, tires rotated, all those things with quick text message, and they will hook you up and get you set straight. Check them out online. GuptonMotors.com is the website. All the dealership information is there. All of the inventory is there. All the deals they have going on right there, GuptonMotors.com. 3450 Tom Austin Highway in Springfield, Tennessee, just 30 minutes from downtown Nashville. Best vehicle buying experience you'll ever have. That's Gupton Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram.
Hey, it's Zach Lyons here of 104.5 The Zone, and as the resident sports analytics nerd, I know data, and the numbers tell me that the dual power of radio and digital on 104.5 has always delivered for local advertisers. Now's your chance to book your 2025 marketing campaign early with special savings and incentives. Reach out today to your local ad representative or go to 1045thezone.com/epic.
Good afternoon. It is 5:03. I've just been on live from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. Titans are back on the practice field today as they get ready to host the New England Patriots at Nissan Stadium on Sunday. The Wednesday injury report is out, and there are 9 Titans listed, including Tyler Boyd, Amani Hooker, Tony Pollard, Dylan Radins, Calvin Ridley, Andrew Rupcich, Jeffrey Simmons, L'Jarius Sneed, T'Vondre Sweat, and Trey Avery. Will Levis and Tyjae Spears were limited. In NFL news today, the Panthers announced that Bryce Young would make his second straight start as Andy Dalton is still recovering from a thumb injury. In Game 5 of the World Series this tonight, the Yankees try to avoid elimination once again, while the Dodgers look for their second ring in the last 5 years. Freddie Freeman on a 6-game homer streak in the World Series after homering again last night. Will he make it 7 tonight? Find out as first pitch is at 7 p.m. For our foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once in your home of the Titans and Balls. This is 104.5 The Zone.
HL 104.5 The Zone. We just got some terrible news after we let y'all in on little Cameron Parker, little man going to ICU at Vanderbilt with DMD. We had a caller call in and let us know that he passed away today. So our prayers are directed at his family, his friends, his classmates, anyone that his beautiful life came in contact with. So I wanted to pass that along because people were sending prayer notes on the F&M Bake Chat. So
direct those prayers to his family.
Yep.
I can't imagine.
Anyway, prayers up for sure. Coming up in the 5 o'clock hour, we'll talk more about the Titans. You'll hear from Brian Callahan. We'll talk more SEC football. I'll probably have a few bits of nuggets. Slay's got another parlay coming, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to get this one out yet.
Oh.
This is going to be the big money one.
Friday How many parlays do you have on any given weekend? Just curious.
I'll probably go about average, probably about 8.
Oh, my gosh. I thought he was going to say like 3.
No, that's bad.
No, dude. One weekend it was, 13 or something?
Yeah, that was bad.
It was 11 when we were sitting here talking about it, and then he did 2 more while we were still sitting.
So this is the problem. How it's going.
What is the problem, Slay? Please tell us.
You got a number for it,
because I do have a number for you. When I talk about Zen Sports, I'll give the number. You might want to listen to that.
This is the problem. I need to sign up with them. I think they give them some money right.
Yes, they are.
This is the problem, Babsy. So when I'm going through the day, depending on how the day is going, I'll try to go and do live bets to make up for where maybe I'm on the way to losing.
They say never taste the money.
Yeah. I'm not. I'm chasing the bets.
Oh, okay. That's even better.
You and Mary Annie live bets like a fool. He'll just start texting us randomly.
Live bets kept me alive. Damn.
Yeah, that's good.
There we go.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-889-9789.
So stay away from dead bets, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Those are you ain't gonna get none.
So
see, it's good that I work in college football and can't bet on it, so I don't fall into your craziness.
Yeah, I think you could. You'd be all right. So do you bet any of these games like singularly? Slay Dog?
No,
you can like watch them and be like, oh, I've got Auburn minus the 6.5.
No, I need to start. I'm probably
There's too many.
Let's add to the menu.
Too many games. Yeah. I'm probably gonna bet on Tennessee singly after I just put it in one of these parlays. Already.
Todd said 19. Tennessee by anything under 17 points.
No, I'm minus 19 for me. Matter of fact, minus 19 and a half.
Does that make sense, Bev?
Yeah.
So I'm going to bet singular game.
No, it doesn't, but it does for him.
Auburn and Tennessee. I'll bet those 2 games.
So you stay under the number of 20?
No, I ain't got no.
That's not why you're at 19.
No, that's just at 19 because that's what popped in my head. That's what I got to do.
This is how he calls scores.
Yeah. You just got to get it.
Had like a dream about it.
Mm-hmm. While awake. You ever did that? Dream while awake?
Yeah, daydream.
That's what I did to get to 19 and a half.
Don Davenport is here.
What up?
Babsy?
Let's go.
She'll be in Murfreesboro tomorrow at Buffalo Wild Wings, and she will be in costume.
Yes. Mr. Babs is coming.
Have we announced what the costume is?
Mine?
Yeah.
No.
I don't know. So I am a little worried. I went wig instead of spraying my hair red.
Oh.
I'm spraying baby Babs' hair red, so she might have red hair for a weekend. We are doing
did tell us. Descendants.
From the Descendants. Yeah. I'm the Queen of Hearts. The crazy Queen of Hearts, yeah. So if you haven't watched the Disney Descendants series, it's really good, from Rise of Red. So I'm spraying baby Babs' hair. I have a wig. But in order to be full on Queen of Hearts from the movie, I'm going to have to do like bright red eye makeup.
Yes.
And I leave at 5 a.m. the next morning to make coaches meetings with Rice. So I'm really hoping that it comes off easily. I did test it and put some on baby Babs like earlier in the week, and she had it on her for like 2 days.
Really?
Yeah. So I'm a little concerned that I'm about to walk into a Rice coaches meeting with like some leftover red eye makeup on.
I think they'll excuse you.
I think so.
Yeah. Just so you do it for
like,
the kids.
she might be crazy, but
I remember last year when I was getting ready, I was getting dressed while doing the Zoom call with college basketball.
Oh, I remember that.
And I forgot to turn my camera off.
Yeah.
So Sean Farnham texted me on the chat on the side and was like, "Man, that's got to be all for the kids, right?" So you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, yeah.
It's for the kids. It is. It's for baby Babs. So
there you go. They did turn my camera off manually though, like I was disturbing people. And Bill Walton, rest his soul, was in a tie-dye shirt with a tie-dye behind him.
But I was disturbing.
That's
Bill.
Yeah, I mean, we were both kind of characters.
Yeah.
So baby Babs is in school. She won't be at Buffalo Wild Wings.
She will not. She'll still be at school.
Doing math and learning Spanish and all that.
Mm-hmm. Learning how to write her name. That's where we are.
Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what name is she writing? Hadley? Or
Yeah.
Babs. Baby Babs.
She'd probably rather write Babs because she's not into writing her name. She could not care less.
Like write one letter and then just a line.
She's like, all right, I'm done. I don't want to do this.
What were you like 2 years ago? Did you come as a Joker?
Yes.
No, last year.
Was that last year?
With the full-on makeup, it was good.
You scared me.
Mm-hmm.
I was in it.
I think
you were in it.
I hate to say this, but I think it's going to rain for Halloween.
It is.
tomorrow for
74% chance, I think.
Literally,
Yeah.
it's rained like half a day in 31 days.
And of course, it's going to rain when the kids want to be out and about.
You know, when we were kids, they would move it sometimes when stuff like that would happen
Halloween?
to the next day. Yeah.
Yeah.
And now you're talking about you could move it. All the mayors around, y'all could move it to Friday. And then trick or treating is happening on Friday night. No school the next morning.
I feel like it's too late to do that.
You think so?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that means they got to move Thanksgiving back a little bit then.
I'll just give Thanksgiving 2 days.
I like that.
We know Slay likes that.
I know how
Give me
to,
those leftovers.
I know how to run a campaign over here.
Ooh, 2 cans
I
of
know,
cranberry
and
sauce.
you love your daylight savings.
Sure did.
Coming up. By the way, did you see Tommy Tuberville,
Yeah.
who is a politician now, used to be Auburn's
Very much
head
so.
football coach,
Yeah.
tweeted about it? How many people sent you that tweet? Because he
lot.
aligns with you on that one.
Yeah, so it's spring forward and stay there. Don't fall back and stay there. You got once we're going to fall back now. So like it's there waiting to be approved, right? Like they just haven't done it.
What are they waiting on?
It's hard here in Nashville too because we're right on that line, and so it really for those that are new to Nashville listening, it will get dark at like 4:00.
Yeah. We're
It's
so
crazy.
close to the Eastern time zone.
Mm-hmm.
But what's funny is like if you look, Indianapolis is directly north of us and they're in the Eastern time zone.
Yeah.
I'm not lobbying for the Eastern time zone. I'm just saying that's kind of the reason why it gets dark so early. Part of. The other is because they fall back.
I hate the Eastern time zone. I love our time zone.
Our time zone is perfect.
Some of these championship games in all sports that start super late, 10 o'clock Eastern time, I'm like, at least we get it a little earlier.
Yes,
here.
we
Well,
do.
when I was at Tennessee, the toughest thing was Monday Night Football because it would come on at like 9
Yeah.
or whatever. And, you would have an 8 o'clock class the next morning that you had to be at.
I'm sure you made all of those, Mayor.
Decisions.
Not being up till midnight watching primetime football has been a blessing ever since I moved back
Like
from
Tennessee,
Knoxville.
Kentucky, for example, 6:45 here, 7:45 there. It's going to be midnight.
Yeah, it's a late game.
That's late. Are you going? He just winked at me. We know what that means.
Me too. I'll be there.
What?
I'll be there.
You're going to?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Polar plunge in the morning.
Oh, yeah. Ecky Bob told us a story yesterday. He said, can I tell you about the story in 2013 when I almost went to my first Tennessee game?
Right.
He's never been to a Tennessee game, but his story was about almost going.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I feel like somebody needs to get Ecky Bop to
That's
a
what I
Tennessee
said.
game.
Yeah.
I'm like, why don't you tell a story about something you did, not something you almost did?
Bob has to go. But the only thing, you know how many people Bob is going to interview
Oh, yeah.
if he goes to the game?
The entire 102,000
And you
people that
better
are in that
believe
stadium.
it. You better believe it.
Take Bob to your tailgate. Let him shotgun a beer. He's never had a drink.
Oh, he ain't going to be able to come to the tailgate then. He can walk around.
Slay Dog is here.
I'm in the
even though
building.
it's break
I'm in the
time.
building. Hump day. Got it all in. I ain't got no.
Slay Dog, you going to Knoxville Saturday?
I believe so, Yor.
That was so funny. Nonverbal communication on the radio. When we come back, more from Brian Callahan talking about Will Levis and more. Talking about tanking games.
Also talking about setting up young quarterbacks for success in the NFL, and I think it's a really good conversation.
All that coming up. Stay tuned. 3HL 104.5 The Zone.
All right. You may need new doors and windows. And with winter coming, you want to make sure that you have those new windows in place to help your bills, your electric, your heating bills. Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville is who you need to call for that. And you might be surprised to learn how affordable those replacement windows and doors are from Pella. Affordable and the best quality out there, because Pella was voted #1 by Nashville homeowners as the leading window brand in Nashville. That's based on the current 2022 survey of leading window brands among homeowners. And not only that, they were voted #1 and rated #1 in tons of different categories for highest craftsmanship, as a window brand that pays attention to detail, for highest quality, #1 by Nashville homeowners as the window brand that stands behind their products. And that's one thing I have loved in working with Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville. Lifetime warranties. And then on top of it, they give you a 10-year labor warranty, which is leading in the industry. Also giving you a deal. Tell them Dawn sent you. Get 50% off qualifying installations and no money down, no interest, no payments for 12 full months. Schedule your free consultation. Check out that offer that I'm helping you get at PellaNashville.com.
You missed the part, Babs, where she talked about the Queen of Hearts, Juice Newton.
Oh.
Start it over.
Oh, I thought you were going to pull a Descendants song.
No, dude, I was just looking for Queen of Hearts.
Let's go.
You can't start it over? Who would have ever thought Juice Newton would get this kind of play?
I was just going to say.
I'm not going to lie. I played it from somewhere in the middle, and I don't remember where I started.
Oh, okay.
I don't even know. I didn't even know there was Queen of Hearts in that whole line. Oh, by the way.
Oh, yeah, she goes, playing with the Queen of Hearts, knowing it ain't really smart. The Joker ain't the only fool who'll do anything for you. Laying out another lie, thinking about a life of crime, because that's what I'll have to do to keep me away from you.
I like it. Queen of Hearts, baby.
That's what she's going to be tomorrow. Murfreesboro, PW3.
I will be there. Hey, by the way, speaking of great music, we are giving away 2 tickets to see Jelly Roll at Bridgestone Arena.
Slay's guy.
November 26th. We're going to do it at the end of this segment.
End of this segment.
Yes.
Okay. That sounds good.
Stick around and be caller number 5 for Jelly Roll.
Not right now.
No, not right now.
Yeah, not right now.
Listen
Not right now.
skills.
Slay Dog might try to. Slay Dog's been known to try to win tickets before.
And he loves him some Jelly Roll.
That's my guy. Yeah, I think somehow you guys are banning me.
What if Jelly Roll and Chris Stapleton did a show together?
I'll be there. No, I'm buying them tickets. I don't need nobody to give me none or anything. I'm buying whatever, and I'm sneaking backstage.
6'8", sneaking.
Yes. Just act like
I wouldn't put it past him.
We'll
Just
get
act
one of
like
them
you
little yellow
belong.
jackets. Yeah, I'm
They
gonna get
don't
one of them
know.
little yellow jackets like security. Slide on back up to the back.
Aren't you Al Wilson?
Yes. They just let me go. They really let me go back then.
Al Wilson was backstage.
Yes, he
Jelly
was.
Roll calls it.
He was in Charlotte.
What was the line from Twin Peaks? If you didn't see me, no face,
No face, no case, baby.
no face, no case. There you go. Just a yellow jacket.
3-leg parsley.
Just like that.
Yep, that quick.
Does it include the CBJs?
No, not. Oh, I didn't even look at hockey. Let me look at hockey.
You hadn't even watched one puck drop.
Nah, I don't need to.
615-737-1045.
Slay.
Stay away.
Before we get to Callahan, let's go to Richard next up on 3HL. Richard, what's up?
I was hoping for something big here, and it looks like it is going to be Mason Rudolph to start for the Tennessee Titans against the New England Patriots, and even the Tennessee Titans need winning ways by doing a better job at catching skills. Then the Tennessee Titans need to keep Mason Rudolph as a starting quarterback for the rest of the season, and also there will be a running back change to Julius Chestnut, and it will be something different. But I think that the factor for this game against the New England Patriots is Mason Rudolph being the starting quarterback of the Tennessee Titans officially.
Okay, Richard, thank you, man. It may happen.
Thanks, Richard. We don't know yet. We don't know at this point. We do know that Will Levis did practice today, did do some things today. And Wednesday is kind of your day. If he definitely wasn't going, he wouldn't be out there. So there is a chance that we can see Will Levis.
They do want to monitor the arm situation, see what he feels like tomorrow after working.
Well, and honestly, you know you
today.
can't trust him. Seriously, you can't trust him to tell you exactly how he feels.
Absolutely can't.
No. I didn't mean
There were so
on
many
the
ways
field.
he could have taken that with
There were
with them.
quite a few. I'm sorry. I should have been more
It's okay.
specific in what part you can't trust him on. Yeah.
I did go with the CBJs too.
Oh boy.
Just because I reminded you.
Mm-hmm.
And they happen to be playing tonight?
They are. They're playing the Islanders at home.
We were talking about game day during the break. We were talking about Kirk Herbstreit, how great a dude he is. That's his team.
CBJs?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's even more reason for him to win.
That is his team. He's a long life Reds fan.
Well, good for him.
Brian Callahan met with the media today. Some random information about. He also has a dog named Ben, if you haven't noticed.
Ben's the true superstar. Let's be
Man,
honest.
Ben used to come to travel baseball games. That's the best dog, man. He's a good boy.
He is a good boy.
Brian
sweet
Callahan,
Ben.
talking about setting up young quarterbacks for success in the NFL.
But I just think there's a couple of factors at play for some of the things that happen in the league. I think one, the quarterback position is the toughest position to play in sports. It's really difficult to play quarterback, and then it's even more difficult to play at a level that everybody wants their quarterback to play at. The top 4 or 5 guys in the league, everybody's searching for that. It's really hard to do, and there's some of the factors I think are, there's the economic factor of having a young quarterback on a rookie deal that allows for financial flexibility, so you can build a better roster and not pay the quarterback what they're getting paid now, $60 million plus now, as a part of the whole picture of building a team. I think college football and NFL football are so dramatically different right now. There's very few like pro style offenses in college. There's a lot of things about what those guys do in college that works really well in college, and then there's a whole different level when you get here. The biggest thing for me, like the protections, understanding protections, how to protect yourself, how to set protections, the pressures you see in the high leverage spots in games. So those are just some minor things, but there's also then now the patience part, which, as we all know, as I said the other day, there's not a lot of patience in pro sports in general, and sometimes it does take a little bit of time to learn all of those things. And then there's you're balancing winning with developing, and that's a very, very hard thing to do in pro football, probably in every professional sport, because fans want success and ownerships want success, and all of those things are all normal. They're part of it, but I think sometimes those things conflict and they run into each other, where you're trying to win because people's jobs are on the line. And then you're trying to develop because guys need development. So it's a really tricky thing, but I think it also stems mostly from the fact that it's just such a difficult position to play, and there's so much demand on that position that you have to play a good amount of football to learn all of those lessons, I think. So I could talk about this for a really long time. I won't bore everybody, but there's a lot of things that I think go into it.
I mean, this plays right into our conversation with the Colts and Anthony Richardson as well, Yep. Just young quarterbacks.
Bryce Young. I mean, some guys have, like Jaden Daniels, man, the legend just grows week to week.
Right.
With that guy.
But it's also not the normal, right? The CJ Stroud, not the normal. Like, you see lots of young quarterbacks. And it also depends, honestly, on what they did in college and what kind of systems they ran and got used to in college, too. Yep. Which is why I think probably a part of me thought that Will Levis would be better at the transition.
Oh, I definitely did.
Because of Liam Cohen and his junior year at Kentucky and what he ran.
He was calling plays. It wasn't like a picture of something.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, he was actually calling plays. I totally I took that in terms of my personal mental evaluation of what he might be, but he just hadn't gotten there yet.
So where does it change though? Like when do you start having the patience and the leash being long enough by the franchise, and even more on top of that, the fans? Because you got to allow them to grow. You got to experience as the best teacher. Or are people okay with going out getting older quarterbacks and not pressing the panic button if they're not getting it done? Saying, throw the young guy in there. Why'd you draft him then? Like, let him get experience on the fly. You know what I'm saying?
Well, Slay, to that point, Brian Callahan today talking about sticking to the development
look at this.
of a player versus prioritizing winning.
We're in a production business, and that's at some point you reach that apex where we do have to win or show that we're improving. All of those things are all a part of it, and you really want to make sure that the rest of the team feels the same way too. You reach a certain point where if they don't feel like that gives them the best chance to win, that's always the hardest part, because you got a bunch of guys that put their bodies on the line every week too, or it means something to them, and they don't take they want them held to the same standards. If your position is not playing well, usually what happens? Find somebody else. And so sometimes that you get to a certain point where that also happens, where guys are fighting and trying and fighting through injuries and playing hard, and they just sometimes want to make sure that the rest of it's in line with that too. And so that's where it gets tricky if you're not playing well and you're trying to develop and still win. So again, these are like really deep philosophical conversations for a Wednesday, but those are all the things that go into it.
I'm gonna be honest, man.
Really interesting, though.
Yeah, and playing, like, I used to look for teams. And of course, when you get older, it's different. But as I got later in the stages of my playing career, I was wanting to be on teams with other vets. Like, give me one or two young guys, rookies that's developing, but give me vets, man. Because for that sole purpose, I ain't got time to go through this, man. I ain't got time to have 8 rookies and me be the guy to lead them, and not as an elder statesman.
You know what's interesting? You guys mentioned C.J. Stroud, and for good reason, but this year's numbers a little bit off from last year. He's got a higher completion percentage, but yards per attempt is down almost a full yard, and he's thrown 1 fewer interception so far this year than he had all of last season.
Sophomore slump.
Or people get film on you, and now they're an underdog in New York, and he doesn't play as well on the road as he does at home. So we'll see. But the Jets minus 2.5, I'm not, as Todd says, I'm not running to the window for that. But it's odd that they're an underdog, right?
I already ran to one.
You did? With the mean green?
Mm-hmm. They have to win.
They're 2-6. Houston's without Stephon Diggs out for the year.
You ever seen the team implode? You will see
and Nico's out.
They do.
Yeah. All right. Well,
so sticking with the conversation though with Callahan and I thought all of his comments today were yes, deep for a Wednesday, but kind of peels back the curtain a little bit, and was asked too, are the best franchises the ones that can stick to developing that young talent despite having early success?
Yeah, I think when you look across the league and you look at the organizations that believe in development, that believe in continuity, that do things without being overly reactionary to a negative dip, a down game, a down season. Those are the organizations you tend to see sort of in the mix most of the time. And I don't need to point anybody out, but I think there's a lot of places out there that are willing to weather some negativity, some impatience from the outside world, knowing that they believe in what they're doing and how they're doing it. So those are things I think when you look around, you see that there is some correlation between those things when you have some patience and are willing to go through some development at the end of the day.
Now, is Will Levis a guy that's worth going through the development for is the big question, which is why I think we have to see him play sooner rather than later.
These were really big picture philosophical answers.
That's really
not
good.
necessarily about detail with regard to what is currently happening today.
I think that I love it.
And don't read into it either of him talking about Levis, that Levis is a guy worth
right.
developing.
No, he's speaking in general.
Yeah,
macro
he's speaking
on this
in
one.
Right. That's why I wanted to make that point.
Yeah. So to bring it back, micro, we right here with the Titans. If we were talking about just them, my question would be, would this fan base be okay or the franchise okay with blocking out the noise? Like, we've been hearing people come through, and I think it's nuts. That's why I made the Washaway toast what it was last week. Like, people talking about fire Miss Amy. Like, what the hell are we talking about? You feel what I'm saying? And I mean, I know it's a small portion.
I can't hear that and not laugh.
Yeah, it's a small portion, but it's like, what are we talking about? Like, when whatever fix happens this year won't lead to us winning a Super Bowl next year or even the AFC Championship game next year. But the steps can be taken to move towards that. Like we all said, listen, I get overzealous as a fan without question, but we said in the offseason getting ready to going into the season, because of what we see on paper, let's try our best not to move the goalposts. You know what I'm saying? And now, it feels like that's what we're doing. Instead of being patient as fans and trying to see what can be put together to move in the right direction, man. And it's tough to do because week in and week out, you still want to support You know what I mean? If you're the franchise of your fan base and you got to have it, but it's like, man, it's got to be a level of understanding. And that's tough as a fanatic.
Well said.
Thank you. I got a degree.
Yes, you did. You worked hard for that thing. You worked hard for that thing.
By the way,
we all did. I did. I know that.
So you guys know I have Navy this weekend, and so I was going through like some of the classes for these Navy players.
I would love to know this.
Okay, are you ready for this one? This is Blake Horvath, who is a Heisman candidate, by the way. He's on all the watch lists, all of that. He's had a phenomenal season. Just take out last week against Notre Dame, although he did have a thumb injury. But here's two classes for you, Slay.
Okay.
Data wrangling and visualization.
Yeah, I don't need to be in that one. Let's drop.
How about this?
Yeah.
Dynamic and stochastic models.
Holy.
I don't even know what that word means.
Yeah, who's
What's stochastic?
Who's the advisor?
I mean,
I'm going to meet with them. Like, no, you got me wrong. That's what I'm telling you.
It's fantastic. It's bombastic. It's stochastic.
Exactly. That's where we fall on stochastic.
Turn this into a rhyme.
I feel like stochastic needs to be one of our new words now.
It sounds like a Jackie Childs line from Seinfeld.
It sounds like an E40.
It most definitely does.
Rhyme or rap.
You should have hit him with that.
I should have.
Yes.
Stochastic. Stomastic.
I'm
Fantastic.
stochastic. You stochastic?
I'm stochastic. We should
Jelly Roll
probably find out what the hell that means before we keep throwing it around.
Jelly Roll is fantastic, and you can go see him.
Yes, how about I give away some tickets for that? Okay, caller number 5 right now, 615-737-1045. You win 2 tickets to see Jelly Roll at Bridgestone Arena November 26th. That is thanks to Babs Prize Closet, another winning Wednesday right here on 3HL. Can I just talk about how much I love our chat? Because the responses to stochastic, or somebody said stomastic, whatever, are phenomenal, and I love it. Hey, you know what? You can stochastically go and bet some sports with Zen Sports, the newest sports book right here in Tennessee, bringing sports betting to a whole new level. And Slay mentioned it. You sign up for Zen Sports, you are automatically going to earn up to $100 no danger first wager. So your first bet loses, you will be reimbursed for the amount of your bet up to $100. Zen Sports also with this awesome new look. They're offering those NFL player props, daily promotions, including odds boosts, no danger wagers, same game parlays, even daily same game parlay super boosts, which are 16% over their Tennessee competitors. Can't beat that. They've got a VIP program. Check that out at zensports.com/VIP. You can win comps to sporting events and concerts. And also, easy to bet on their app, which is revamped. Just download it on your phone, Zen Sports, or go to zensports.com today. Zen Sports, where betting just got better. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-889-9789. Terms and conditions apply. No danger wager limited to plus 500 odds to qualify. Boosted odds derived from equivalent parlay bets offered in Tennessee. Must be 21 and older and in Tennessee to bet.
3HL 104.5 The Zone. Britt Doherty, Don Davenport, Ron Slay, producer Ziff. We will be in Murfreesboro, Buffalo Wild Wings tomorrow. The Ron Slay Miller Lite Wash Away Toast at 4:45. Anyone in attendance will get a free 22-ounce Miller Lite draft beer.
Come see us.
That is right. In your costumes if you got them.
You going to wash away 52-14?
Oof.
Yeah,
I'll do something with that.
Yeah, exactly. I had to take over in the bathroom and flush out one.
I think so. I think you might have to plan this wash away.
Interesting. So what game do you have? Navy at
Rice.
Rice. Oh, yeah. Beautiful stadium. I remember having this conversation with you.
They just fired their coach.
Ooh.
Oh, by the way, their athletic director is Tommy McClellan, who used to be at Vandy. Remember? Yeah.
Oh, Tommy Mack, yeah.
I'm going to chat with him tomorrow.
Like Rice is in, what's that part of town of Houston?
It's like downtown Houston.
I used to remember.
I got a brick tops over
River
there, I know
Oaks.
that.
River Oaks.
Yeah.
It's in River Oaks, which is where Old Bush lived.
Yes.
And they filmed a movie called Terms of Endearment where Deborah Winger, she does this in every movie she's in. She died of cancer at the end. Like, spoiler alert. Jack Nicholson was in it. Oh, I saw a story about your girl.
Martha Stewart.
Martha Stewart.
What Martha done done?
For those that don't know, Slay is in mad love with Martha Stewart.
Please tell, how do you say her name?
Martha.
Yeah.
My little lady.
Oh, Martha. Martha.
My little lady.
She, this all happened when she was on the cover of Sports Illustrated at 80. Octogenarian.
Man, look at
And
her.
Slay saw a picture of her during the show and just lost it.
And then just sat and stared at it
Yeah.
forever.
She deserved it.
Like Martha.
Yeah, she and Snoop Dogg are friends.
Yeah, Snoop need to be cool.
Zeph, you got to find that.
Well, what are you doing?
Snoop needs to be cool.
Yeah, Snoop, be straight.
This from People Magazine. Martha Stewart hates that she looks like a lonely old lady, in quotes, in her new Netflix doc. It was just shocking.
I'm telling y'all.
She's saying that the director of the documentary didn't frame her in a positive light.
She's saying this is a chance. I run across it. That's what she's saying.
That's a secret note to Slay Dog?
You translate that however you want to. I know how I translated it. I mean, it's Super Bowl this year. I wonder she'll probably be down there.
Oh, boy.
She might, because she got the documentary out.
Oh, my gosh. Can we please make that meeting happen? I don't care if she's on air or not, but that meeting of Ron Slay and Martha has to happen.
Picking her up.
This is one of the pictures that she's
scooping up. I'll probably get in trouble if I scoop up on her.
Probably. By the way, she's no.
Oh, yeah, my girl don't never look like that.
She's no BSer.
Levis. No, she ain't here to play around.
I mean,
I'm telling y'all.
I mean, woman did jail time.
Man, she went out there, did her time like a G, came back home and got to it.
Yeah.
She ain't playing. No, I'm with her. Okay, Martha.
No.
That ain't her.
They should have brought out the Sports Illustrated.
Yeah, that ain't her. That ain't her.
Shot,
She got a little vest coat on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? With the little.
You get a Martha.
Yeah, Martha don't even play like that.
I almost fell out of the chair again.
It
wouldn't be the first time.
She will make you do it.
But it's funny, like when you look within the story, not just that picture. She didn't like that picture.
Right, she shouldn't.
Which I think is on the cover of the doc. But like when you look within the story and they show her like being interviewed, she looked really good.
So of course they picked the worst.
Listeners.
Yeah.
I know you're talking to the listener. You ain't talking to me.
Yeah, I'll find it and show it to you.
Slay loves Martha.
My girl.
We had Bully on yesterday. He wanted some extra time. And boy, he got it. And I love him. We all do. Bully coming up next. Titans tonight on 3HL. Appreciate y'all including us in your day. We do not take that for granted, nor do we take it lightly. Hope you have a great night. Good night. God bless.
See ya.
Wouldn't want to be you unless you're Tajay Spears, Traylon Burks, or the Parsley, Liberty, -2.5, CBJ's +1.5, Kennesaw State +24.5, Dodgers +1.5. Book it.
CBJ's.
Or Martha Stewart.
Yeah.
No, y'all stay away.